Folks, I just can't in good conscience keep you waiting much longer. I'm just too excited. I'm just too excited to get started. What can I say? On time, no, my friends. This is an early stream. The most nefarious and rare of them all. Hello, dark portents for today, and I'm serious about that. There is bad news to share with you, and we'll get to that shortly. But first of all, Mellert, I saw you in chat. All right, I hope things work out. Okay. Hey, listen. Self-confidence and self-respect is the foundation upon which you build a good life. All right, I believe in you. All right. Saw a friendo in chat. You say that is. All right. I'm ready for it. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about today, but unfortunately, I don't know if we're going to be able to for the reasons I am about to explain. First of all, I'm exhausted. I got no sleep last night. Holy shit, it was so bad. I was up so goddamn late. Okay, I'll tell you the whole story, okay? I won't skip a detail. So, last night after stream, I start fucking with my computer because, here, I'll show you guys, okay? Short tech stuff. Very short little bit of tech stuff, okay? Hold on. Very short, all right? I was benchmarking my PC. I was talking about it with stream, and my PC is at the 34th percentile of PCs that have the same amount of the same parts. So my computer is performing worse than the majority of computers that have my parts, and that shouldn't be right. I mean, I'm a streamer. Like it's my job, you know, to have a good computer. Yeah. So yeah, I've got, you know, I mean, this is obviously still an extremely good computer, you know, of course, but it is still, we can go further. Yeah, especially like, look at these bottlenecks, dude. The fucking CPU, 32nd percentile. The fucking graphics card, 23rd percentile. The fucking SSD, 23rd percentile. The RAM, 37th percentile. Like, man, you know, fuck, right? Anyway, I start fucking around with it. And what website program? It's just user benchmark. It's like a shitty like way of determining how good your computer's running. It's not a very good one. But I start ticket tapping, you know, and I stay up late last night fucking around with it. I go into the BIOS, you know, and like when you restart the computer and you hold F2 and you open up like it's not even like the OS. It's like the underlying like computer program. You know what I mean? And I start fucking with it. And guys, look, I actually had some success. So we start off with my CPU being 32nd percentile, and then after a couple of benchmark tests, we get it all the way up to the 74th percentile, which brings the workstation score from a 94 to 102, the desktop score from a 91 to a 94, and the gaming score from 124 to 127, which is great. I wasn't able to get the RAM working though. For some reason, every single time I try to increase the RAM, it would crash back to BIOS. Every time. So if I upped the CPU overclock, it would work. And if I upped the RAM overclock, it would work. But if I upped both of them, it would crash to BIOS. I don't know why. So I need to figure that out. RAM is super fragile? Yeah, but I was keeping it well within its parameters. Anyway, yeah, 13th percentile RAM is like unacceptable. So I need to figure this out too. So part one to why this stream might not last that long is because it might crash. I'm not, it might crash. I'm not sure. It might crash. Because last night I tried to render a video, the Six Hexenhammer video, which is going to be relevant for today's stream, and it didn't. And overnight, my computer crashed to BIOS. When I opened it up this morning, I had to reset like a few settings. So I don't know about that. We'll see how that goes. Okay, we'll see how that works. Yeah. So there you go. Bro, just get a new computer, my dude. I could do that. I could do that. Um, anyway. So I'm very tired because I stayed up late doing something that led to computer instability, which means that I might crash or my computer might crash. So both of those things might happen. Those are both possibilities, okay? Either of those things can happen. Oh, and I got woken up early this morning because Artemy jumped on me, a little fucking prick. I was sleeping, I was so comfy, and then fucking just jumped on me, walked on my chest, and walked off. It must have been like 5 a.m. or something. Little fucking dipshit. Hello, Lizzie. Have I lost weight or is it the exhaustion? No, I've actually lost a fair amount of weight in the past month. Been working on it. Gotta get that lean cuisine, baby! Replace ranch dressing with Greek yogurt. You know how it be. Alright, that's enough computer talk. How y'all doing? How the fuck are you guys doing? I am so excited to be sharing this moment with you. You know why? Because I love my job. It's a real reason. It's true. It's true. I like my job. Man, what have we been up to lately? What's been going on in the news? Did you give your parts enough voltage? I left the voltage settings on auto. It was up to like 1.47, I think, for the voltage for the CPU. I looked at a YouTube guide, Snow. Don't be mean to me. I looked at a YouTube guide. I kept it on auto. If you've lost weight, why have you been photoshopping your live streams to make you look thin? Dude, hey, listen, okay? There's a lot of pressure being a YouTube miniature little baby celebrity, okay? I gotta do what I can. You make sure your temps are good? Yeah, nothing ever crossed past like 82 degrees. And 95 was the threshold for CPU. You should do some research on this yourself. I did! I did! It's just hard! What do you want from me? How we doing, guys? We're gonna have trouble concentrating today. I can feel it. I'm so out of it. We gotta just go to the Sargon video, don't we? We can't fuck around. If I try to do like some wacky little story, I have to go immediately there. Because otherwise, I'm gonna lose focus. I gotta stay on it. Fahrenheit or Celsius? Usually it'll show Celsius. No, yeah, Celsius. 82 degrees Celsius is within the working threshold. Oh, congratulations on graduating college, Springvay. 82 degrees Celsius is fine. My upper limit for my graphics card is 94. Almost hot enough to boil water. That is hot, though? Goddamn right it is. Look, if you want to... I mean... Look, 82 degrees Celsius is too hot to touch? Then don't touch your fucking computer parts when you're using the computer. What do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah, it's hot. It's a fucking computer. Yeah, don't fucking reach your hand in there. It doesn't matter if it's 82. You're not supposed to touch it. It's touching steel. Yeah, 82 degrees is way within spec. Look, I mean, I can... Look. Webcam... background. I have this open for heat distribution because the case is kind of small. See, I can reach my hand in. If I went in and touched it, I could probably die. Electric shock myself or something. But I do it. I do it for the heat venting, okay? Got it open, baby. What if touching like computers is my kink? Then go out in glory, okay? Do it for the memes. Is that the meme you guys want for me to die on stream? Doesn't dust get on it when it's open? Yeah, baby. That's why we got the anti-duster. Of course, if you really want to anti-dust it, you're supposed to do it when the computer's off. But yeah, you can. It's the gist of it, you know? Oh yeah, Mythology, don't worry. I mean, it keeps within the heat specs. Are you sure your PSU is not? My computer's fine. My computer's fine. It's all good. It's a very, very good computer. Obviously, I stream with it. I have to. What kind of CPU do you have? 2700X. All right. Can we focus? Would that be possible? Oh God. Okay. Oh fuck me, dude. I'm gonna have to concentrate. Okay. I just want to play video games, but I've got a job. I've got the easiest job in the world, and I get overpaid for it. Okay, I gotta focus. All right. Okay. I'm still salty about you calling abolishing the CIA LARPy. It is LARPy. Okay, it is. If you're running as an elected representative and you're talking about how you want to abolish the CIA, that is LARPy. Yeah, you're not going to be able to abolish the CIA. It will never happen. The only thing that's going to abolish the CIA is some sort of radical fucking coup or revolution. So if you're talking about it as elected representative, it's LARPy because you're posturing as somebody with like power and position you can't possibly have. Is seizing the means of production also LARPy? Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll commit to that. Yeah, 100%. If you're running for Congress and you're running on the idea that you're going to seize the means of production, yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd say that's LARPy. Yeah. Now, if you're saying it's a long-term goal that we should seize the means of production, then that's fine. Yeah. But if you're like running on that, like as an elected official, yeah. Oh God, guys. I know I said this yesterday, but I got a Twitter DM from Joshua Collins where he's upset with me, and I feel so bad. I feel like I betrayed my people, my comrade. Oh no, I don't know how to respond. What am I supposed to say? Like, I'm sorry? I don't know. Uh, It would also be incredibly stupid to abolish the CIA. Well, yeah, but that's a whole other conversation. Right now, abolishing the CIA would actually be a pretty bad idea. Get rid of the intelligence agency for our country? I can't think of any way that would backfire long term. Unless your goal is to destroy America, which as an elected representative I hope is not the case. I I hope that when you're convincing the good constituency of Washington 10 to vote for you, you're not running on a platform of destroying the country they and their children live in. Is it LARPy to abolish ICE? No. ICE was formed in the last 2 decades. I don't think it's LARPy to abolish ICE at all, or to say you're going to abolish ICE. Not to mention, ICE isn't necessary for like the structural functionality of America, whereas the CIA is. All countries have intelligence agencies. Now, reform the CIA? I think that's a realistic and immediate goal. I think that's reasonable. But like abolish the CIA? I don't think so. Gotcha, guilty. Neither is the CIA, bruh. Break up their responsibilities to other branches. The CIA is more than well, you just said break up their responsibilities to other branches, which means that the CIA is necessary. You're not talking about abolishing it. You're talking about just redistributing its responsibilities. Whereas the TSA is literally used, not TSA, sorry, ICE. Well, actually, yeah, the TSA and ICE are both literally useless. So you can just get rid of them. But with the CIA, like they actually like we need intelligence agencies unless we want to slowly get encroached upon by foreign powers. I mean, it's their job. Um, we're get okay, my friends. My friends. Um, I recently, now I haven't even released this yet, but last politics stream, I did a video on Styx Hexenhammer 666, who bravely proclaimed that he would not be debating any of the grifting bread tubers out there because they make money off of YouTube. I'm still not sure. I don't know. It was hard to make it. It was hard to make out like an intelligible excuse through all the crying, and that actually kind of sparked a shitstorm on Twitter a little bit. Maybe a shit gale, perhaps not necessarily a storm, a shit drizzle, maybe, but it led to a lot of Twitter discourse, if nothing else, which ended up in Styx Hexenhammer blocking me. Now, I haven't even released, to those of you who are watching this live right now, I don't know if you've seen that or not, because I haven't even released that video. We're following up on this pretty quickly, but if you're watching this, sequentially, then, oh, I don't know, Hyena. I'll look at it later. If we're looking at this sequentially, then here's Sargon of Akkad doing the same goddamn thing. Is it worth debating I will never be able to do Sargon's voice. Is it worth debating BreadTube? What's the point in debating an angry communist in terms that will simply make him money? See, we got that one again. You'll also notice the stars of BreadTube run from debate, and only the Reddit debate bros will do it because it is performance art, not discussion. So, I've got a lot to say about this. We can get to this point by point, okay? Now, Styx Hexenhammer pretty much confirmed that his video was about me. Again, and I said this before, but I'll say it again. How many breadtube debaters are there? If we're talking about skeptosphere debaters, like if we were saying that back in 2017, 2018, that could refer to dozens of people. If we're talking about breadtube debaters here and today, it's pretty much me and Xanderhall. I think that's pretty much like the breadth of it, of the known breadtube debaters. Jangle's Science Lad, maybe? Mouthy Infidel, who's a great debater, but is very, very small. Like, let's be realistic about who's being targeted here. Styx Hexenhammer pretty much acknowledged that I was the one he was referring to because he hearted a comment in the YouTube comment section where they described the aforementioned the serfs Lance does debates where they described the aforementioned breadtube debate bro as a fat man bun so-and-so. And of course I actually don't like ever wear my hair in a man bun anymore because I'm lazy and I always stream after I shower, but the sentiment is nonetheless appreciated. I've never even debated Styx Hexenhammer. Sargon I've debated. So let's go over this. Hassan doesn't really do debates. What's the point in debating an angry communist in terms that will simply make him money? So this is literally just how dare YouTubers make money from doing YouTube. I mean, it's like, this is so weak, dude. Then you'll also notice the stars of YouTube run from debate. That's because the stars of YouTube do video essays and not like lazy live react comment like you and me. And only the Reddit debate bros will do it. Why am I a Reddit debate bro? I barely use my Reddit account. Wait, why am I a Reddit debate bro? Like, can't I just be like a debate? I just don't understand what the association with Reddit is. Is it because I have a subreddit? I mean, I barely moderate. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Because it's performance art, not discussion. So I think that's the gist of it. And good Lord, he looks horrifying here. I think that's basically the gist of it. So Sargon here is upset because when he tries to have conversations with people like me, and he offers insightful commentary like, brown people bad, we should cut off all immigration because immigrants sometimes commit crime, and you can't be a socialist and like immigration. He gets upset when I do things like bring up statistical data or actually like refute his points. This is hilarious to me. It will always be hilarious to me because, and I really do think this is a change in like the zeitgeist of YouTube. For years, people like Sargon, Styx Hexenhammer, all these people, these were the most aggressive, hateful debate bros around, dude. They would find these tiny little feminist channels and dogpile them with their audiences, skidding them, doxing, death threats, hate, the comment sections, the fucking like-dislike ratios beyond the fucking pale. Oh yeah? Well, if your ideas are so great, why can't you debate me? And like this was going on for years. Like, they were horrible. If you care about like harassing people, which I try not to do, you know, these people postured themselves as like the intellectual gatekeepers of the universe, dude. And now, and I'm going to be a little bit conceited here because I've debated Sargon twice and I know for a fact he got really fucking mad after the last debate that I had with him. He was feeling real good after the first one. That's probably what made him do the second one. And he was feeling real bad after that second one, okay? That's why he didn't make a video on it. I'm going to assume this is largely about me, okay? So how fucking pathetic of you to posture as these debate lords for years, and then a couple people on the left actually start engaging in debate, and all of you back the fuck off. It's actually a really, really smart survival strategy on your part, because none of you stand a fucking chance against, not just me, anyone who has done any amount of research on any of the subjects you guys talk about. The moment you get rid of the inherent power differential that is associated with like tiny little left tubers arguing with Big Daddy Sargon or whatever, the moment you get rid of that fear and intimidation, you guys collapse like a house of cards and you run away. So Sargon over here posturing it's all performance art, not discussion. Sargon initiated both debates with me. Both of them. And he chose the conversational topics in the first one. And the second one I just chose the same ones as the first one. He set the terms. He initially set the moderator. I chose a neutral moderator for the second one. He wanted both discussions. So the idea that we're like seeking out people to challenge, like we're these obnoxious performance artists, is just not substantiated. In fact, if you guys know, I don't actually seek out debates that often. I usually wait till I'm prompted. I didn't challenge Styx Hexenhammer to a debate until after he made a video preemptively cowering in fear at me. I didn't challenge Lauren Chen to a debate until Lauren Chen acknowledged my criticism of her in a video. I don't usually go out of way challenging people. I didn't challenge Count Dankula to a debate. Count Dankula challenged me to a debate. I didn't challenge Caleb Maupin to a debate. Caleb Maupin challenged me to a debate. I didn't challenge Stefan Molyneux to a debate. Stefan Molyneux challenged me to a debate. Seriously, I chill here. People come to me because every last one of you thinks you're going to be the one to make me look dumb. And it's not happening yet. Let's get to the video. Hit me up, Sargon. What's up?
Is it worth debating BreadTube? This is the question that is being raised by Sean Head when she tweets to Vorsh.
What was that? Wait, how did you fuck up the pronunciation of both of those names?
This is the question that is being raised by Sean Head when she tweets
Sean Ed. All right. Okay, we're gonna focus.
To Vorsh.
Vorsh.
A communist YouTuber who wanted to debate Styx Hexenhammer 666, who's a libertarian YouTuber. And Styx doesn't want to do this because, well, he thinks that Vorsh just isn't worth the time. So 6 months ago, he had tweeted, leftists are so afraid of me, they won't even debate me. Then, you don't want to justify my mediocre platform by wasting your time debating me and thereby associating your brand with my hideous obesity, malicious antagonism, and elementary school style commentary. Well, you must be a chicken, ha ha ha, I win, heavy mouth breathing noises.
I like how Styx Hexenhammer's cowardly rebuttal there is right out of like 2012. Like, you're a neckbeard. I would bristle a little bit at the hideous obesity comment, but I think that honestly, next to Styx Hexenhammer, pretty much everyone looks morbidly obese. So I'll give him that. He's allowed to make that one, okay?
Now, what's surprising about this is the lack of compassion that she was showing here. I can't believe that she thinks that Vorsh's audience isn't also an instrument to abuse people, which is what Styx is objecting to. Now,
Wait, is Styx objecting to... So Styx objected to a lot of stuff on Twitter. First, Styx was saying, hey, I'm not going to give you money by debating you, after which I said, I will debate you and donate the proceeds to a COVID-19 charity, at which point Styx said, actually, I only debate relevant people, after which he backed up to, actually, I don't want to because you guys are bullies. He backed up like 3 times over the course of 15 minutes on Twitter. It was crazy. He never actually mentioned, like, my audience.
I'm not saying that's good or bad. I personally don't care. However, that doesn't mean that's not the case. Vorsh very much is about grandstanding to his audience, about ideas that he himself doesn't have the balls to implement.
So I think that's a worker co-op thing. This is still literally like the lol, you're a socialist. Why isn't your YouTube channel a worker co-op? It's really, really funny that they think that's a gotcha. They keep bringing that up. Destiny brings that up too. I wonder if they think, like, I don't know if they know that's a bad argument or... Anyway, yeah, it's really funny that Sargon of Akkad would complain about grandstanding. Does everyone remember back in my second debate with him when he was like, I can't believe you, a socialist, would advocate for immigration when it hurts the wages of the working class? And then I say... well, actually, it actually generally benefits wages and it increases economic productivity in other ways, which helps the working class. And even then we can use redistributive programs to help the working class, and it's a net benefit. And then he would respond, I can't believe you, a socialist. He did that 4 times in a row, by the way. And that's not a joke. He actually did that 4 times in a row. He would not jump off it. But yeah, I'm the grandstander. I just like discussing ideas, my dude.
So that's how we know that they're not good ideas. He personally isn't going to do it. Therefore, we can't assume there's any virtue in what he's doing. He's in fact living like an arch-capitalist, much in the same way as Hassan Piker.
Remember, boys, if you make money, you're not a socialist. This is actually the intellectual level that they work on. Remember, guys, how many times do I have to point at the sign? You don't have any points. You gesture at imagined hypocrisy. He hasn't made any points in this video. All he's doing is accusing me of imagined hypocrisy. And it's important to remember that, because even if I was a hypocrite, which I'm not, socialists can make money in a capitalist society. I'm even a market socialist. Like, even in my socialist society, my next step, I would still be doing what I'm doing. Like, that wouldn't change at all. My life, insofar as this job, wouldn't be affected at all by a transition to market socialism. I'm already a sole proprietor. I already do all of my own work. I don't have any means of production to distribute amongst an employee group. My life hasn't changed. But yeah, it's basically the equivalent of like, hey, you say you're a capitalist, but you gave away money to charity one time. You used capital in a way that wasn't to reinvest into your industry. You call yourself a capitalist. Like, it's like about that dumb. But nobody makes those arguments against those guys.
It's quite interesting how these communists don't walk the walk, even though they talk the talk. But she has been taken in by all of this because I think she's got an attachment to being left-wing. And I don't want the comments on this video to just be, oh, I hate this person because X, Y, Z. That's not productive, right? But I think that she does have an attachment to the label of left-wing. And so anyone who...
That's really funny, coming from an ethno-stater who called himself a classical liberal for years, who spent his entire career espouting conservative dogma while calling himself a classical liberal. It's really funny.
Asserts this label, essentially she's kind of forced to go along with them.
What?
And I don't think she's really thought this through as much as she might like.
Oh shit, they're mad, dude. They're mad. Their fucking skeptosphere waifu is moving over to a correct position. That's what this is. Oh shit, that's what this is. They're seeing that one of the skeptic community isn't gravitating towards neo-Nazism like the rest of them did, and they're actually fucking mad about it. Is this like a cuck thing for him? Does he think like I'm using my socialist like wiles to draw Shu away from that? I just chat with Shu over DMs like about like funny Twitter drama I do. Like, I'm not wiling her. She just thinks you guys are kind of dumb now.
But what Styx is talking about here is, I would suggest, the social justice types. The social justice types who end up essentially making this meme true, where people are having civil discussion, and then suddenly the leftists come in and, oh, everyone's a fascist, everyone's misogynist, everyone's this... things that are not up for debate, things that are just statements.
Don't you love it when you and your skeptic community are talking about how we need to institute ethno-states and how race realism is real, and then somebody comes in and ruins all the fun by calling you racist? Don't you hate it when you have to use a meme from like the Paleolithic era of the internet to express this sentiment? I hate it when that happens, dude. I hate it when I'm Sargon of Akkad and I'm talking about how homosexuality is being pushed by a global conspiracy of leftism, and how leftists have infiltrated the media, and how everyone hates straight white men, and how we need to close off the borders to all the fucking Muslims coming in, and how Europe is for the Europeans. And then someone comes in and they call me a fascist? Damn, whatever happened to civil discourse? These guys, you guys realize these people are literally like the Karens. They're like the wine moms, where they only care about civility because they're using it to obfuscate any discussions of their actual ideas. They're literally like that. That's what he's like, a Karen.
Assertions that are not in any way useful whatsoever. And that is basically what Vorsh is. But Vorsh is that for he won't like it if I call him a tanky, but for the revolutionary communist bit, that's Vorsh. And the SJW...
Damn, wait. So, are you saying that it's worthless and incendiary to call people fascists because there's no argument there, but you'll just keep calling me a radical communist without making an argument? That's interesting. Sargon, why do you think it's a disruption of civil discourse when people apply labels to you and your friends, but when you apply labels to other groups of people, it's actually a totally legitimate argumentative strategy? It's a little weird right there. Thanks for not calling me a tanky, by the way. I really appreciate that. I work very hard to distance tankies from my community.
W's are for the rest of it, and they won't debate their ideas. Vorsh doesn't even debate his ideas.
What?
Vorsh just angrily shouts at someone at how co-ops are going to be the best thing ever, but, you know, for thee and not for me.
My dude, I gave you all the data. I know you're still mad. I gave you all the data. I know you can't read, so it was basically like me giving data to a fish, but I gave it to you, okay? You can't fault me for that. You can't fault me for that. Listen to this guy. He's so mad. Vosh, he just wants to talk about policy proposals, even though he hasn't made his YouTube channel in a co-op. Like, holy shit, dude. Was the data longer than 5 minutes? I can confirm that he would have had to spend 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes reading if he wanted to truly appreciate the data that I gave him.
If you watch his debate with Stefan Molyneux,
Here we go.
You'll see what I mean. It's actually amazing to watch him screech to a halt and start widening back his own position on worker co-ops. Well, actually, there are conditions. They're always good. And it certainly wouldn't.
The funny thing is, in my debate with Stefan Molyneux, I literally opened by saying there should be a threshold over which we apply a standard of worker cooperatives to the economy, and that below that threshold, it's probably not economically viable, and that things like YouTube channels would never meet that threshold. I actually preempted the conversation by saying it, but that's okay. That was probably more than 5 minutes into the debate. I know Sargon probably didn't make it that far.
Work for my channel. I do most of the work, so really do you. Sounding very capitalist here.
Doing work on your own is capitalist?
But it's interesting that the problem I have here is that Shu is, and I think unwittingly, acting like an attack dog for radical communists. Now, I find that really bizarre because you would think that the really far left, the really hard left, as Vorchin
The far left, the hard left. Whoa, Sargon. Remember in our first debate when I called UKIP far right and you got really mad at me? Whoa, what's far left, my dude? I just want to secure economic and social prosperity for the people of the United States of America. What's far left about me, my dude? I'm just a classical liberal. I believe in the classical virtues of liberalism. Like Adam Smith, I believe some things need to be decommodified. Like Adam Smith, I agree in the viability of worker co-ops. Like Adam Smith, I believe that landlords have a toxic influence on our economy. I'm a classical liberal, my dude. I don't know why you would paint me as a far leftist. That's really weird.
You would think that she would be opposed to that. Styx replies with this. Disconcerting to see you stoop down to chuckle with someone whose initial antagonism of me involves him explicitly stating he knows little about my content, a person whose career is predominantly a slew of outright antagonism of other creators. Sad. Well, that is true. I mean...
Wait, Styx Hexenhammer's channel is also a slew of antagonism. He's just too much of a pussy to actually name the people he's talking about. But half of Styx Hexenhammer's videos are rants about the regressive left or SJWs or some other nebulous group of evildoers that are that's somehow ruining society. The difference is I'm not a pussy, so I talk about the people I'm referring to. If I was somebody like Sargon or Styx Hexenhammer right now, instead of this, where you can see Sargon, I would be looking like this, and I would do a 20-minute rant about how there are some skeptics in the YouTube community who aren't willing to debate their ideas. But because I have a spine, I directly talk about the people that I have an issue with. Yeah, I'm sorry, we can't all be, I guess, invertebrates.
You wouldn't, if I was acting towards trans people in the way that Vorsh acts towards just anyone.
What? Can you imagine, Vosh, if I treated trans people the way you treated fascists? Do you see now your hypocrisy, Vosh? When you speak ill of murderers, don't you realize that if I spoke that way about black people, it would look really bad? I can't believe that. I actually can't believe that Sargon has a following. It's actually insane to me.
Then you would certainly say that I was in the wrong. So why isn't Vorsh in the wrong?
Because you're a fascist, and I'm not targeting you because you're trans. You'll notice I'm not targeting you because you're white or male either, or cisgender. I might target you because you're British sometimes, but hey, listen, okay? That's non-negotiable.
Why is Styx not allowed to say, well, hang on a second, I actually don't need people abusing me online. I don't have to debate with that. I mean, can you not find a more reasonable leftist than Vorsh? Is there no one that you can talk to who is not this person?
Yeah, find an easier target, my dude. God, they're so fucking scared of me. It's crazy.
Because he doesn't seem, he doesn't even accept when he's wrong either. He doesn't understand it.
Do you think he's about to say a point where he thought he was got me in the wrong, or do you think he's just going to skip by it and insinuate that I've been wrong in the past, but not actually describe how?
When you get something that he doesn't know anything about, he just goes, well, I don't care about that. It's like, okay, but that's something that other people care about. That's a
Like-
facet of the debate.
like-
Why can't you engage with that?
Like-
And it's just a way of effectively ejecting.
Wait. If I don't know enough about a topic to discuss it, I'm not going to discuss it. What is he referring to right now? When have I don't think I've ever said I don't care about that unless it's literally irrelevant. Like he'd say like, "Oh, well, Muslims one time hurt a guy." Like, "Okay, I don't care about that." I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. In the first debate, he mentioned like some incredibly minute esoteric thing Muslims did, and I think I said I don't care because it was statistically irrelevant, and he's upset because that's what he wanted to talk about. He doesn't want to talk like about stats or data. He wants to find like a news article from 2014 about a brown person who did something like bad to like a white person or something, and he wants to talk about that for 90 minutes. That's what he wants to do. That's his. But I'm the one who grandstands, by the way.
And this comes from the sort of bread to bro, debate me bro sphere, the sort of Reddit debaters.
You literally sound like a woke scold, dude. You actually sound like the woke scolds. That's crazy to me. You actually sound like the woke scolds right now. You sound just like those itty bitty whittle fucking trans 16-year-old baby accounts on Twitter who impugn me for being aggressive. You fucking pussy. What are you? Fucking beta male? You're not a beta male, are you, Sargon? I literally, every time I get in debates with you people, I try to treat you with as good as faith as possible. With the Stefan Molyneux, I literally just sat there and listened as he rambled about how magic and morals was what led to the Industrial Revolution. I didn't interrupt him at all until he started interrupting me. And even then, I kept it to a minimum, okay? When I talk with you in the second debate, I responded to every point that you made. You couldn't respond to the points I made. I am so fucking nice to you guys in conversations, dude. It is insane how much charity I bring to the table. But I get it. It's tough.
As if that's a legitimate debate tactic or something. But it comes across, I mean, when I had my debate with him,
Here we go.
The top comment on Adam Sitch's stream was, this guy sounds like he's trying to punch Sargon through the screen. It's really amazing, isn't it? It's like, what are you so aggressive and angry about if you're so certain in your own positions?
That's data to Sargon of Akkad, the top YouTube comment. That's his. I've brought with me some proof that Vosh engages in dirty debate tactics. Seen here in this YouTube comment, in the video of our debate, he said that Vosh was mad. As you can see from this, the data is settled. Like,
but of course he wasn't, which is why Molyneux ended up making him look like a prat. But Shu goes, your first excuse.
Literally everyone, like I remember on Twitter when people were dogpiling Molyneux after his performance in my debate. He literally looked like a lunatic. Stefan Molyneux, by the way, I think is actually like sundowning, by the way. I think that Stefan Molyneux is actually like seeing his way out the door. That dude is getting crazier and crazier with time. So I might have actually caught him at the end of his like cognizance. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a brain tumor or something.
Was he makes money. So then he said he'd donate the super chats to charity. No one trusts Vosh to donate super chats to charity. And I'll tell you why.
What?
Right? Go and ask him. Go and ask him, what does honor mean to a communist?
What?
See what he says. Why should he honor that commitment? Why should he do it? Hassan doesn't honor his commitment to pay his workers.
What the fuck are we talking about right now? Also, Styx Hexenhammer never said, I won't debate Vosh because I don't trust that he is going to donate the super chats. He doesn't debate me because he's scared. It was an obfuscation from the beginning. What is honor? What the fuck does that mean?
Vosh doesn't honor his commitment to workers.
To worker co-ops because he believes that all YouTube channels should be turned to worker co-ops. Holy shit, dude. No points, just imagined hypocrisy. I can't believe they keep doing it.
Co-ops. Why should we expect that he will honor his commitment to giving super chats to charity? No one thinks he's going to do it.
Oh, well, okay, so first of all, nobody in the entire Twitter thread ever said at any point that they doubted the legitimacy of my, promise to donate my super chats to charity. Nobody brought that up. So for you to say nobody believes Vosh will do it is a little bit weird. Second of all, it's pretty obvious considering the fact that Styx Hexenhammer backed off that point afterwards and didn't challenge my legitimacy in that claim, that he wasn't thinking that. You're just simping for the dude. You're just over here trying to find a way to post hoc justify his cowardice by suggesting that he actually secretly doubted my my authenticity rather than just generally being like a coward. you know. But I can answer that directly. The reason I would donate them to the super chats to charity is because I don't ever lie, ever. You can find me lying about anything major at any point over the course of my channel, if you will. You can go ahead and do that if you'd like. Also, it would make me look really bad if I made that promise and then didn't donate that money. So it would be in my interest to do so. Do you think I'm so hard up for cash that I would like try to hoard like one stream's worth of donations over my long-term integrity as a YouTuber?
Then you said it didn't matter enough for debate, and now it's this. All leftists are either grifters or not relevant enough for you. You can't say none of them want to debate you anymore. Yeah, but there are limits, aren't there? I mean, like, Vorsh is grandstanding. That's all it is. It's just grandstanding for his audience. And they're not interested in truth or falsity. They're not interested in right or wrong. They're not even listening. It's a team sport.
Like,
and you know it.
Example.
And there's no point playing this game.
Example.
Again, Vorsh is going to be the pigeon who shits on the chessboard.
Example.
Like, when Stefan cornered him, he couldn't say anything.
Cornered? I responded to every point he gave. Holy shit. Also, not a Nazi Sargon palling around with Molyneux, and literal neo-Nazi Jake Ewer.
He just retreated back into his standard rhetoric.
What is my standard rhetoric?
Styx
What is my standard rhetoric, Sargon? Do you have anything that you can say to support your point? Your audience is hanging with bated breath. They want to know.
Reply here is not actually the best reply, to be honest. If someone with 5 subscribers and a hammer and sickle tattoo says they want to debate me, I have to debate them or I'm a coward. You know this isn't how things work. So that's true, but we're not really talking about that. We're talking about people who are, I guess we would call them,
prominent, powerful, terrifying, fearsome, masculine, overbearing, dominant. What? Throw me a few adjectives. Come on, Sargon. Tell me how you really feel. We're not talking about some rando with 5 subscribers, are we? We're talking about the debate lord of the left. Come on. Come on, say it. Fill my ego. Do it for me.
Content creators who are, actually engaging with ideas. And I don't know who the Humanist Report is, but I don't know what's gone on between them and Styx. So it does seem that there can be these people. I mean, I personally have asked Callum to reach out to Hugo and Jake because they were calling Styx a coward on Twitter, and I've asked him to reach out to them so I can have a chat with them. And V said he'd like to be part of the chat because I've been really interested in probing their ideas.
V? Oh God. Do you guys remember that guy? Holy shit. Remember? He was one of the first fucking skeptics I debated on the Drunken Peasants podcast, and he didn't know anything. He didn't know a single fucking thing about what he was talking about. He was saying like we can't let refugees into America because they could go to American embassies on the way up from South America to declare sanctuary. Like, holy shit, that dude was crazy. Does everyone remember there's that that chart that somebody made a long time ago about rating all the YouTubers by rhetorical skill and philosophical rigor, and V was at the bottom of both. It was really, really funny. Like, V was crammed into the bottom left corner. He was like it was like he wasn't floating there. Like gravity had pulled him down to the side and to the bottom. You know, it was really funny.
And I'm sure they're interested in probing the ideas of the other side. I've been watching some of their Dave Rubin's book review, and I mean, tepid on both sides. But
by the way, Sargon just dead named Hannah. Yeah, Hugo is trans. Hugo is Hannah. But I don't know if that's something Sargon did intentionally. Hannah was known for, they were known as Hugo and Jake for a long time. While Sargon is still a transphobe, I don't know if that's explicitly something he's doing on purpose, so. Yes, he did do it on purpose, dude. I've seen people recently do it not on purpose. Guys, I can accuse Sargon of being a transphobe without accidentally tripping up and maybe accusing him in instances where it could conceivably just be ignorance on his part, okay? It's much easier for me to just attack him on points that I know he holds rather than try to assume that he's doing things out of malice when there are conceivable excuses that he wouldn't be doing it out of malice.
I'm sure that the lefties are completely up for debate, which is what Shu is essentially saying here. Styx's reason for this was we tried several times to get a debate going. The last time there was a miscommunication. Then he decided he wanted to unilaterally try to force me to accept a debate time that would be well after my bedtime, so to speak. No thanks. Seems like you have an issue with me, also sad.
Just so you guys know, Styx Hexenhammer had a debate set up with the Humanist Report. They tried to get it going 3 times. He backed out every time, and then he blocked them on Twitter. It still needs to be corrected. Yeah, that's why I corrected it. But I'm not going to, attack him over. There are much easier things to attack him over than that. Yeah, so it was like really pathetic. I actually got a DM from the Humanist Report. Wait, hold on. I got a DM from the Humanist Report. First time I talked with them, actually, after the Styx Hexenhammer drama, which is pretty funny for me. And they said, hey, I had to reach out because I saw you talking about Styx backing out of debate with you. He backed out of a debate with me 3 times, and I just talked about it on DP last week and will be dropping a video on my channel with receipts. Dude is such a huckster. So yeah, I don't know. Little baby bedtime Styx, too sleepy, too nappy time to want to debate 3 times in a row.
So what's sad, apparently, according to Shu, is hearing that the left is too scared to debate free market of ideas for 5 whole years, then finally seeing actual leftists who aren't SJWs want to debate, and 90% of the YouTubers who cried cowards in the past make weird-ass excuses and pussy out. Well, I mean, these aren't exactly the people we need to talk to, are they? I mean,
you don't need to talk to okay, first of all, Sargon, there are no larger debaters than people like me on the left. Like, if we're talking about people you need to talk to just as a matter of like engaging for clout, I'm like the largest one. Unless we're talking about people like Sam I don't think you're going to call into like the Sam Cedar show or anything like that. If we're just talking like pure YouTubers and not talk show hosts, then like there's that. What the real answer is just say you're scared. Why can't they be honest, dude? Holy shit. Why can't they be honest? Dude, I engage with dishonest actors all the time. You're like incredibly stupid. And you're dishonest. But I debated you twice. Stefan Molyneux is stupid, crazy, and dishonest, and I debated him after he reached out to me, mind you. I'm willing to engage with people who I reasonably think are bad faith actors. Man, Sargon looks so strange. Does anyone else think that he's like not getting any sleep? I don't know, like the bags under his eyes feel like ever since he shaved his head, I don't know. It's cabin fever or something. Yeah, oof. Anyway, like, Jesus Christ, like just the snowflakery on these people. Like I would debate alt hype, known dishonest cunt. Even Nick Fuentes, dishonest cunt. Oh, who you debated with, by the way, Sargon, in that Twitch show, in the Scuff podcast show, that disastrous one. Like this is just not an excuse, like at all. Even if everything you said was true, that I was a dishonest debater or whatever, you're still more of a pussy than me. Because I engage with all of you.
When the communists are actually making policy, then maybe that's a concern. But the social justice warriors are actually making policy. Like you should see Scotland at the moment.
Wait, what?
Go and do some looking in to the Scottish National Party. They're very interesting. You'll see a whole slew of SJWs in that, and none of them will be.
Wait, he doesn't want to debate communists, but he wants to debate SJW. Wait. Am I not both an SJW and a communist? Wait, can I be both? I can be both, right? The only reason I wanted to talk about worker co-ops with him is because he was the one who brought it up in the first debate, because that was made the subject of discussion. If we just want to talk about like feminazis or the SJWs coming to eat all the straight white men or something, like we can talk about that too. Like I love both points.
Ever hold to account. None of their ideas will ever be challenged. But nobody really needs to challenge the ideas of communists. I mean, the 20th century has proved them so demonstrably wrong. What's the point?
You're the one who chose the discussion topic, my dude, because you thought you'd get an easy gotcha and you didn't have a single piece of data to back up any of your points.
I mean, I do it for fun. I do it because I like it. Oh. But I can totally understand that if other people who look at the just quagmire that Vorsh sits in, with angry, buzzing, dumbass communists.
I do appreciate the fact that rather than like leaving any room for plausible deniability, he's just making it open that I'm the person he's scared of. Like he doesn't keep saying like the bread tube debate Reddit sphere. He just says my name. I appreciate that. That's better than Styx Hexenhammer.
And like, no, I don't need to do that. There's no benefit in that for me. There's no point doing blood sports. As Styx pointed out, it's just going to enrich Vorsh. And again, I don't trust him to send that money across.
That is such a weak excuse, dude. I wouldn't debate you because I don't want you to make money, even though this is our job and we're both on YouTube and that's literally how the platform works. You'll donate it? I don't believe you. Even though I never made mention of that in the Twitter thread or anywhere else, and you're just inventing this excuse for him because you don't want him to come off like a giant coward, and he actually backed off to other excuses that also look pathetic. Damn, I thought you were a capitalist, Sargon, over here. You're saying you don't want to engage with others in the free marketplace of idea because they've set up a business structure where they profit from it? Damn, that's really interesting, Sargon. What are you, some kind of socialist? Do you have a moral objection to people making money? Sargon of Akkad claiming to be a capitalist over here. Can't even answer some basic questions about the fundamental hypocrisy of his beliefs. Oof. Sucks to suck. I'll be holding this against you from now on, Sargon. That's your worker co-op YouTube channel shit, okay?
What would be the best thing to do, really, if Vorsh was actually sincere in wanting an exchange of ideas with people, is you would have the debate offline, record it, and then upload it to your respective channels afterwards.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, is that the arbitrary standard we're saying? Oh, yeah. Hey, Carl, Styx Hexenhammer blocked me on Twitter. Can you let him know? Yeah, sure. Well, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'll lose out on the money for a stream for the fucking for the chance to debate Styx Hexenhammer. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%. Come on, yeah, let him know, okay? I'm gonna upload this video. Hopefully you'll hear about it. Let Styx Hammer know, okay? You guys can let him know on Twitter too if you're not blocked from Styx Hexenhammer. Say Sargon says you should debate Vosh offline. That's what you should do. Make sure to let him know, okay? Go over there, just let him know. Just inform him that's Sargon's opinion of this situation. Happily, yeah, okay. We can do that again. Yeah, Sargon, if you want to do that too, I think that'd be a lot of fun, baby. I do like streaming it. It is fun for me to watch all the little frogs run by on the side of the screen, but just for you guys, okay? Just for you guys.
Of course, he's not going to do that because he's not interested in that, as you know.
Test me, motherfucker.
And you've got to remember, Shu, that nobody wants to debate syndicalism or cooperatives or whatever with Vorsh. No one...
You chose the debate topics, dude! I know you're too stupid to discuss economic theory. That's why I was surprised you did it. You chose the debate topics. That was you. Or maybe it was Adam Friended. Okay, to be fair, it could be Adam Friended was the one who initially set the debate topics for the first, but Adam Friended's your friend, my dude. You think I want to talk about economic theory with a fucking idiot like you? Do you think it's fun for me to try to explain basic economic principles to a brick wall? Why the fuck would I would much rather ramble with you about SJWs. That's much more fun for me. Why can't we talk about that? I didn't choose the topic. And after Adam Friended chose them, you agreed to them. Not only was I not the one who chose the topics for the first debate, I wasn't even informed on them. I didn't even come in prepared to talk about them. I didn't know. I walked into that fucking discussion, and then I saw the title of the YouTube stream hosted by Adam Friended, and I thought, oh, guess we're talking about capitalism versus socialism. That was my experience with it, okay? Control your fucking content output if you are the one who has an aversion to talking about economic theory, okay?
No one cares. No one cares about his personal pet project. They care about the radical left-wing narratives that are going about other issues, social issues, that Vorsh himself is not on the same side of. So we can't debate those issues with him. So saying...
I'm not on the same side. Wait, what is that? Wait, what SJW-esque issues does he think I won't fight him on? Wait, what? Does he think I agree with him on something? Like anything? I'm left of most of the SJWs on social issues that you talk about. I'm a fucking race and gender abolitionist. Wait, is it because I'm not like a woman or trans? It might actually be that. I think he's dog whistling, kind of. When he says, I want to talk about SJW issues, he's talking about having colored hair and being a woman. That's what he means. But because I don't have colored hair, and I guess brown is a color, and I'm not a woman, he thinks I'm not? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of weird.
Leftists won't debate these things. Well, that's still true. There might well be a tiny fraction of subset of basically irrelevant communists who want to debate communism, but that's not the problem. That's not who we want to debate. We want to debate...
choose different debate topics.
Actual leftists who are going to come and say, yeah, let me tell you about patriarchy. Let me tell you about white privilege.
Yeah, wait. You think I won't disagree with you on this? Wait, you think if I go and talk to him, and he's like, well, I don't believe in the patriarchy, and I'm going to go on there and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, the patriarchy sucks. Are you saying I'm a class reductionist?
let me tell you about, British Empire and all these sort of things. They're the people who we need to hold to account, and they avoid all debates, as you know, because fundamentally their positions are baseless.
We literally talked about the alt-right pipeline and transgender issues in our debates. What the fuck are you talking about? I think this is another way to like distance himself from me. This is the other excuse. Like, oh, Vosh just wants to discuss irrelevant economic theory. He doesn't want to engage with the culture war. But like 90% of my videos are the culture war, dude. Like, it's not, like I understand. Like most of you are probably familiar with my with my discography here, but. Like, if we look through this, like, the vast majority of this stuff is culture war stuff. Like, here's me talking about SJWs with Josephine Matthias. Here's me, fucking SJW Medium article. Here's me talking about anti-SJWs with Chris Raygun. Here's me talking about, I guess, is homo-fascism and homophobia culture war for you? JF Gariepi was, I guess, largely about, like, social issues and transgender stuff. Like, the majority of the videos that I do are social issue stuff. Economic theory stuff is fun, but I don't think it should make like the entirety of your content as a left-leaning person. Blatant plugging? It's true, I am on my channel. I feel comfortable plugging my own channel. Do you watch your own videos? Yes. I usually go back to my own videos to check the comment section. Sometimes I'll skip to a point in the video if I'm testing like an audio thing, I'm always adjusting my audio settings in the background. But I always check the comments of every video, just see what the discourse is.
Then Tim Pool jumps in saying, debates are stupid. It's an attempt to win instead of actually understanding
Hey, Tim.
issues. True. There is a hard tendency among the left to avoid any kind of discussion or debate relative to the right. True. This is true even back when I was doing field reporting and documentary. Correct.
This is the closest I've gotten to Tim Pool, by the way. For him to jump into a discussion thread where I'm like one of the main subjects. This is the closest I've gotten. We're getting closer, baby. We're going to get up to him. We're going to rip that beanie off. We're going to see what's underneath, okay?
And then Shu says, disagree. People like Shapiro, Rubin, and Crowder get used to being in an echo chamber and debating college kids and will claim the left is scared of ideas and facts and logic, but when you see when they're faced with people who are actually smart, the facade shatters. Vorsh is not actually smart. Vorsh is just...
Way to completely sidestep the fucking argument, dude. Way to... Wait, if I'm not smart, then doesn't that mean you're scared to debate a dumbass? That's even more embarrassing, my dude. Hey, listen, this is a hot tip to you guys, okay? If you want to look good, you want to compliment your enemies, not denigrate them. Because that way, if you lose to your enemies under, like, no matter what you're doing, coworkers or debate lords on YouTube, that way it looks way better if you overestimate them. If you're like, this guy's a fucking idiot, and then, like, you're scared to debate him, it makes you look really stupid.
Just well versed in his particular pet field. Take him out of that and he doesn't know what to do. And he can't even explain why he won't.
What fields am I undereducated on?
Become a member of a worker co-op. Sorry, not the owner of a worker.
Again? It's again! They don't get it! Hey, Sargon, you claim to be a capitalist? Why the fuck do you have a problem with me making money off engaging with other people on YouTube? If you're a capitalist, you should invite people to engage in the free marketplace of ideas, and the exchange of free-willed commerce is something that you should value principally. Ooh, I thought you were a capitalist, my dude. Guess you're a radical socialist now. What a hypocrite. Can't even put his ideas into fucking practice.
God, sorry, God, what was I thinking? But Tim replies with, when I worked at Vice and Fusion, getting leftists on record was like pulling teeth.
By the way, just so you guys know, even if I did run my stream as a co-op, they would still make fun of me for it. If I had my stream as a co-op, they would be like, oh, so is everyone getting paid exactly the same amount? And then if I say yes, they'd say, oh, so do you all vote on every video you put out? And if I said yes, they would say, oh, well, do you spend 50-50 time each editing each individual video? Like, they don't actually care. They don't give a fuck about the application of this standard. They'll push it like as far as they can.
Conservatives are the opposite. Most of these people, left or right, just want to win. They use debate tactics and semantics to make clips. It's stupid.
Notice how all these excuses only come out when there's a possibility of these people being challenged by debaters. Conservatives didn't say this for 6 years straight. And hey, by the way, back in 2014, 2015, there were a lot of fucking lefties on YouTube who were dumb as rocks and who didn't make good arguments and who were too scared to debate, okay? So back in those days, all of these arguments about them engaging in bad faith were equally applicable. But now, and only now, suddenly, they have a very strong aversion to actually engaging with these people.
Yeah, and it's not like Vorsh is in any way an honest actor, is it? I mean,
Hey,
he's just running around
dude, holy shit, you fucking Vosh brain. Jesus Christ. I'm not even being mentioned in this specific thread. It's just like a subtweet to me. But everything you say is a reflection. You're not even talking about the general ideas Tim Pool is expressing. You're just complaining about me. Dude, I get it. Holy shit. I appreciate. I know you think about me a lot more than I think about you. Somehow, despite you still being one of the largest reactionaries on YouTube. Just chill. It's okay. The debate's over. It happened months ago. It's okay. It's over. Just get over it, dude.
calling everyone a white supremacist or everyone is a fascist or like typical leftist bullshit. It doesn't
Got any counter arguments?
do anything for anyone, does it? It doesn't advance any conversations. But Shu says,
Wait, yeah, it does. Hey, I think you're a fascist. Why do you think I'm a fascist? Okay, let's talk about your policies, ideas, and mannerisms. Damn. You can just, and then you can talk about it. Isn't that crazy? You can actually have a discussion about it. Just like how when you call me a radical communist, I can talk about that. As it turns out, ascribing labels to other people can actually be a gateway in discussing people's ideas. It's pretty wild, I know, but it's true.
I remember it was that way, especially online, but I think things are changing. The left is starting to grow a backbone, from what I can see at least. Have you done any of the work to engage with what Vorsh is saying? Other than just saying, I'm left and therefore. Like, what is he proposing? What? It doesn't matter.
Wait, what? Wait, where are you going with this? We talked about what I was proposing. What the fuck do you mean? What? Is he implying I'm like a Stalinist or something? Like, Shu, you have no idea what you're getting into. Have you even learned what his ideas are like? Like, wait, what's the implication here? Yeah, this is post-Vosh stress disorder, PVSD. Yeah, I talked about all this with Shuanhead. Shuanhead knows exactly what I believe in. I assume? I mean, she's in chat sometimes. We talk, DM. Like, yeah, pretty sure Shu knows what my thoughts are. She doesn't agree with everything, but principally, I think like she and I have a lot of mutual respect.
It took me 8 months to set one discussion last year. I can send a DM to anyone on the right and be good to go in a day. I stopped because it's all bullshit. No one actually wants to understand anything. They want to win and have their fans hoot at them. That's definitely true in the case of Vorsh, isn't it?
Jesus Christ, man! Holy shit! You're not even responding to what Tim Pool's saying. Just in every sentence, you're like, that reminds me of how bad Vosh is.
But this is the problem, though, Shu. And I think that this, like, you being an attack dog for Vorsh is one thing if you're prepared to step up and defend his position.
What does that mean? Wait. She's not an attack. I don't send Shu to do anything. Sticks at Hexenhammer's behavior was objectively pathetic. He spent years talking about how no one wants to debate him, and then he preemptively said he would never debate me before I ever even challenged him to a debate. It was pathetic. Like, that's it. Shu can point out that pathetic behavior without having to defend every single position I believe in. This is complete non sequitur.
It's obviously something you endorse, but saying
not
I
necessarily
wouldn't engage in debate either because I know for a fact that I would be bad at one. If you're not going to do it, why does anyone else have to do it?
What? Because Styx Hexenhammer was the one who said for years that nobody would want to debate him because the left was afraid. That's why. That is the difference. That is it. What is it? Because some random person somewhere doesn't want to debate, that means nobody ever has to, and it's not embarrassing when they avoid doing so? I can't believe that Sargon of Akkad's brain is getting like an appropriate amount of oxygen. It's actually insane to me. Didn't Destiny try to debate Styx a while ago? Yeah, and he was a pussy back then too. Styx kept ducking out of the debate and only showed up during a blood sports match where there were 5 other fucking neo-Nazis in the call, dunking on Destiny already. That was the only time Styx came in.
Just because Vorsh and that's Vorsh's income, Vorsh's livelihood is yelling at people on his streams.
Sargon, I'm a YouTuber. I have the same job as you. That is our job. Yes. You probably make more than me. I don't know why you keep bringing this up. I don't ever do this, by the way. I don't go like, Sargon of Akkad, just making money off being a dumbass online. It's such a weird, like, aversion to actually discussing the arguments they're making.
So why would anyone want to play into that? I think it's totally reasonable for Styx to say, no, I'm just not going to engage with that. I mean, that's something that's not credible. Like,
Yeah, that's Styx Hexenhammer's right, but it makes him look like a pussy. Yeah, yeah, totally. If you posture as a debate lord, but then you preemptively back out because the other guy is super extra mean, yeah, that makes you look like a pussy. Yeah, totally, 100%. Yeah, easily. Yeah, but that's his right. He doesn't have to debate. Like, I'm not suggesting the state mandate he debate me.
he's not a credible interlocutor in this regard. I would rather talk to Destiny than Bosch.
That is the biggest compliment that I've gotten this past week, because I know exactly what that means. I know exactly what that means.
His Destiny can at least reason through positions he doesn't already hold. But
what position did you give me that I couldn't reason through, my dude?
If you're not going to debate them, why should why are you being an attack dog for ideas you can't even substantiate?
That's not what she's doing, and that's a non sequitur.
It just seems to be about you saying I'm left wing. Left wing doesn't just mean communism, does it? If it does just mean communism, then why would anyone want to be left wing? What's
She's
good
not
about the
a
left?
communist.
Again, ask them about, I don't know, virtue. Ask them about compassion.
What?
Ask them about honor. Ask them
What
about...
the fuck? This is, by the way, this is how fascists talk, by the way. When fascists try to, like move back to some sort of essentialist accusation that people are empirically incapable of engaging in virtue, that's like fasci talk right there. It's essentially calling, like, a person a degenerate. That's essentially what he's calling me. Like, yes, well, Vosch's problem is that he lacks the honor necessary to discuss ethnostates in proper condition. Like, it's a really weird aversion to it is virtue signaling, but it's also like a really weird, like, what does he think he is? Does he think he's some sort of like fucking gallant like Arthurian knight, like this knight of YouTube, the Union Jack behind him or whatever, who stands there valiantly, back straight, hands placed firmly upon the pommel of a sword buried into the dirt. Ah, yes, milady. Lady Shu. Oh, how can you stand here and act as the attack dog of this scurrious dog Vosh? Doth you not know he lacks the honor and virtue to engage fairly in the marketplace of ideas? Like, I don't know, my dude. I don't think she's gonna fuck you.
Ideas that are not purely material, and you'll find they don't have very many answers at all.
You never asked me what virtue meant in our discussions. It would have been a weird question, but...
But Tim says, I think the left tends to be scared of the circular firing squad, and there are people swayed by right-wing love bombs and people who are scared of left-wing firing squads. There are many people who went from right to left after being targeted, and many who drift right due to comfort. Which is interesting, because Shu's actually doing the opposite here. She's drifting left because of comfort. She admits she doesn't have the knowledge of the subject to properly defend it. So it can only be because it feels like a comfortable position to arrive at.
No, because she just doesn't like doing debates. What? She talks politics. She just doesn't like debate. I don't think Shu likes confrontation very much. Shu is like a 1.4 million sub YouTuber, and she's nervous to come on my stream just because talking about her ideas in like an immediate format makes her nervous. And that's fine. Debate's not for everyone. It's a specific skill. But she's never made claims to being a debater like Styx Hexenhammer and Sargon of Akkad have.
But Shu then finishes this conversation with, absolutely the right embraces literally everyone on the left, gatekeeps and purity tests like crazy. I don't think that's arguable. If you're someone going from left to right, you'll be welcomed by a parade. If it's the opposite, you'll be picked apart. It's a problem I'd love to fix.
She don't miss.
How can that be fixed? How can it possibly be fixed? The problem with left-wing ideology is it's abstract, very rarely
abstract from the guy who just said, ask communists what they think of honor? Okay.
Translates into anything that isn't horrific in real life. And
from the person who advocates for an abolition of all immigration to the United Kingdom, a policy that is engaged in only by places like Turkmenistan and North Korea.
Essentially is focused on the idea that there can be a correct and perfect politics. That is a ridiculous position.
What? Wait, fascists are the one who believe... Wait, The idea of a permanent the idea of the material dialectic constantly driving forward societal change is a cornerstone of Marxist thought. I have never met a leftist in my life who actually believed in some sort of perfect utopian system. I have never met this person in my life. But fascists literally think like, if we go back to 1950s America and get rid of all the darkies, then we'll have a perfect place forever and we never have to change that. The material dialectic explicitly denounces this type of thinking.
The idea that you can have correct politics, political correctness.
What?
And you'll notice that you yourself got dragged into this because Vorsh called you a reactionary and you went on to prove you weren't a reactionary.
I think Sargon is arguing against the metaphysical concept of being correct. I think he's been stupid and wrong for so long that he has begun to doubt the idea that it's possible for anyone to be correct about anything. That would actually explain a fuck ton of his policies if he believes that. If he believes the idea of empirical correctness is utopian, oh shit! I'm getting an insight into Sargon right now. That's incredible. That explains everything. No wonder he acts the way he does.
Who's not a reactionary compared to Vorsh? How much further left can you get?
Oh shit! Hey, I'm gonna listen to that again because that's like fucking whipped cream in my ear holes. I don't know if that actually feel good. That's just the first thing that came to my mind to say.
Who's not a reactionary compared to Vorsh? How much further left can you get? Until you are as far left as Vorsh, he's going to call you a reactionary. I wouldn't measure myself by his standard if I were you.
I don't think that Shoeonhead's a reactionary, by the way. I think that Shoeonhead occasionally engages in rhetoric that is appreciable to reactionaries. I think that sometimes Sargon engages in language that reactionaries, for lack of a better term, vibe with. But I don't think Shoeonhead is a reactionary. I don't think Chris Reagan's a reactionary. I mean, it's funny that he would accuse me of this because I'm actually one of the most permissive people on the left. Most of the left is pretty inhospitable to people like Shu or Chris Reagan and stuff. But I'm the one who's actually putting in like effort to, I guess, reach out. And I don't want to sound like conceited or anything, but I think that these people, I don't think they're as bad as a lot of people think. I want to reach out. I want to believe that fundamentally a lot of us care like really deeply about making the world a better place. Wait, what is this? Wait, what? At Sargon Beta. Afraid of what? I've already debated him twice, neither of which I profited from. We know. Wait, Wait, what? What? Why is he bragging about not profiting from the discussions with me? Doesn't that... I don't know if he's trying to imply something else, but doesn't he realize that makes it sound like he's acknowledging the fact that he looked bad, right? I don't know. Godspeed. We don't need to turn every video response into a fucking Twitter shitstorm, okay?
But this is the thing, isn't it? Like the drive to become more like him, that's what he's doing. It's effectively a way of grooming you into it, I guess.
Sargon, just so you know, it's really creepy when you put it that way. That's really weird. You might want to do some introspection and examine why you're ascribing a sexual relationship to Shu and I being buds and Shu moving a little over to the left. You might want to... That's a little weird to me, okay? Do you wish you were grooming Shu? Do you wish every morning Shu would DM you and ask Sargon, what can I do to be more based and epic and red-pilled? I don't know. Like, it's really, really weird. Please don't say that again. Okay, groomer. It's really strange. I wonder if Shu's going to see this segment. That's a really weird thing to say. A lot of people do this really weird sexual stuff with Shu. Like, I get it. Shu's hot. Like, cool. But holy shit, a ton of people make jokes about her and I, like, fucking. Or, like about her being, like, a sub to whoever she's talking to. It's, like, really, really weird. I like, when my community does it, like... I get a lot of you are just horny teenagers. I try to push you off that. But Sargon, you're like 40. You're like 45. I don't even, you're like 100. I don't know. You're like way older than me. It's really strange.
But no, but this is the way that the left is. You can't escape this. You can't get away from this being a problem of the left because the left thinks there is a perfect and correct politics.
I mean, it's materially opposed to one of the foundational principles of almost every leftist's beliefs, but okay.
And I've seen leftists use this phrase, having perfect politics, as if abstractly, no, I've worked out what perfect politics.
I have never heard that phrase. When people say perfect politics, it's always in like this abstract, insulting way. I've heard some people say perfect politics, and it's people making fun of woke scolds for gatekeeping. Like, you can't enter the left unless you have perfect politics. I have never heard anyone use that term as like a positive descriptor. I have no idea where he's getting this from. Probably reasonable of me to assume that I know more about the internal dynamics of the left than he does, just because I spend more time in it, but I don't know.
Would look like. And when and until the world looks like this, the world is fallen and bad and reactionary and fascist.
No, wait, this is the language of fascists, that the world is in a fallen state? I'm sorry, have you ever been on The Fallen State by Jesse Lee Peterson? That's what they believe, that the world is in a degenerative state. Most leftists believe that we're in the best place in history that we ever have been in, and that we keep progressing forward. Fascists are the one who believe that things like there was a perfect past, and we just need to bring it back to it, that we've fallen from that point. Really weird.
But when it does look like this, it'll be perfect and communist and sweetness and light and etc. etc. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. But this is what's happening with left-wing purity tests and the circular firing squad. It's I am more communist than thou. Who fucking cares, man? I'm not even slightly communist.
I don't know. You're the one who has a problem with me making money in the free marketplace of ideas, my dude. That sounds pretty Stalinistic, to be perfectly honest with you, my dude. When you said, yes, I will not engage with Vosh because I know he will profit off of it through free exchange of capital and open market. Oh, damn, I don't know, my dude. Sargon, that was pretty weird. You were really repping some commie vibes back there. Ugh.
I don't see why you would be either. And I don't think you are really. I think that your frustration initially with the social justice warriors is that you don't agree that the lowest common denominator is the best standard. I don't think you do.
What?
I think you understand that there is something to your own personal effort that matters. And I think that because of your emotional attachment to the term left...
Is he trying to, like, woo her? This whole video has been really weird about Shu. Like, he keeps ascribing no agency to her, you know? Like, she's being pulled over to the right by me, or she's simping for me, or she's my attack dog. No individual agency on her part. Is he trying to, like, pull her or something?
You are kind of reluctant to admit that. I think that it's been worn away by your experiences with people like Vorsh. But maybe I'm wrong.
What experience?
And maybe we could...
Wait, what experience?
Kind of reluctant to admit that. I think that it's been worn away by your experiences with people
I don't know what he's saying here. I have no idea.
Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe we could have a chat about it. Maybe we could talk about it. I think it'd be
Okay. I get it. Hey. Okay, all right, no, okay, it's all coming together now. I get why he's shit-talking me so much now. This is simp behavior, right? Because he probably thinks I'm like the commie boyfriend that's pulling her over. Like, she's just this inert object that can only be, like, pulled in directions by men. And right now, I'm like the commie BF and I'm pulling her. And he's like, hey, Shu, your current BF is trash and he's garbage. Why don't you come talk to me, baby? This is like some high school shit. This is really funny. Are you married, Sargon? That's really strange. I don't know. Hey, listen, I mean, I'm into open relationships, okay? I'm not trying to judge or nothing. I'm just surprised.
nice, you know, I've never had a crossword to say about you. And I don't know. No, I just think that this is something that needs to be addressed. I think this is really important. And I think it's why the skeptics can't bring themselves to admit that Donald Trump is doing a good job, because he is. And
wait, what? Wait, what? What does that have to do with anything?
They would rather go into this kind of fantasy world of communism than admit that maybe the MAGA people have a point and maybe the leftists are actually the architects of their own misery. Anyway, folks, if you'd like...
Nope. Oh, what are these t-shirts, Sargon? What does that say? Thou shalt not simp. Ooh. I would have skipped out on the promo at the end of this video, my dude, because this looks really bad. Oh, God. Yeah, I gotta buy him one. What's Sargon's P.O. box? I gotta throw him one. Oh, is Shu here? Oh, hey, Shu on Head, what's up? Shu, I'm sorry people are so weird about you. I'm really sorry. It's funny because like people impugn you as being an anti-feminist, which I guess you're anti like liberal feminism, like the Karen shit or whatever. But it's funny because I think you've come face to face with a gruesome reality of like being mistreated as a woman more so than almost anyone else on this fucking platform. Because you're because people are so weird about you. Oh, fuck the YouTube comments. We always have to look at the YouTube comments after. If we don't, what was even the point?
Debating bread tube. This is the question that is being...
Shut up. Here we go. It's easy to be a communist when you don't have to live like one. Make your YouTube channel a co-op. I'll believe the left has grown a backbone when they stop trying to rip people off the internet for saying things that hurt their feelings. Damn, you think that's unjustified? Better debate it with me. A lot of them are talking about Shu. I guess the video's like splits, like half between Shu and half between me, even though he was going over like the Shu tweet thread or whatever. Shu built a career on debunking far-left propaganda, then lost her mind after drinking Bernie Sanders Kool-Aid. Dude, you've no... Shu was a fan of Bernie back in 2016. And she never debunked far-left propaganda. She made fun of toothless liberal feminism, the opposite of far-left propaganda. I love these people, dude. God, I wish I could debate every one of these people one by one. Oh, Sargon liked this one. If Sargon acted towards trans people the way Vosh acts towards Stefan, Sargon would actually be what the feminists think he is. Damn, dude. Hypocrisy unveiled. Imagine if we treated trans people the way we treat neo-Nazis. Heh, bet you're looking pretty transphobic now, huh? All right, that's good. We've had our fun. That's enough. God, dude, I can't... You know what actually really sucks? I've been thinking about this a lot more lately, but like, Destiny had this exact same problem. Destiny kind of ran through the entire like debate sphere, you know what I mean? Like he ran through all these people. He didn't get to Stefan, I got to Stefan, but he ran through like everyone else. And now it feels like he can't get like high profile debates anymore. Not because like he's off his game, but because like no one wants to talk to him because they all lost, you know? Yeah, I feel like I really hope that as I get larger, this is my goal, okay? Because right now, all the reactionary YouTubers are finding excuses to avoid talking to people like me, by which I mean me, because there aren't that many people like me. And my goal is that eventually I can be so large and so powerful that debating me is like a rite of passage. Like my fans become this like aura of pain for reactionary YouTube, where I'm on here and anytime a reactionary makes a video where they're like criticizing me or like vaguely criticizing BreadTube or something, that there are people in the comment section saying like, hey, why don't you talk about it with him? Hey, why don't you debate him? I want to do to YouTube what the skeptics did to YouTube. They turned it into a shithole, except they turned it into a shithole for women and for progressives and for people of color and for trans people and what have you. I want to turn it into a shithole for Nazis and fascists. That's what I want to do. I want to make this platform uninhabitable for them, just because I am so infallibly good at debate and so presently willing to engage with all these people, that they have no choice but to succumb and lose to me, or they get made fun of for the rest of their careers. That's my ideal. But we have to get really big to be able to do that. We have to be very, very large, like 500,000 subs minimum, you know? But hey, a 5K stream isn't a bad start, you know? Oh yeah, I saw this too. This was from Shuan had tweeted this like a little while ago. I'm pretty sure this was a comment from Sargon's video, I think. Read how creepy this is. This is so fucking creepy, dude. Holy shit. How this started. Armored Skeptic probably said something about echo chambers of the right, which he disingenuously fails to acknowledge are the result of the left unilaterally refusing to engage in good faith with the right. Shu agreed. Armored Skeptic probably went on to talk about sticks. Shu listened with her undivided attention. Armored Skeptic talks about that one time where that thing happened to that one dude. Shu gets on Twitter. So like Shu has no independent thoughts or emotions. She literally is just like a stream of water. She is guided by all the men in her life. It's so creepy, dude. I mean, I don't want to ascribe. Listen, maybe Shu is some kind of hyper submissive, and Shu likes being like treated like a dog by everyone online. I'm gonna guess that's probably not the case. It's just really fucking weird, dude. It's really, really, really weird. I don't know. Yeah, 150 likes in that comment too. Also, isn't Armored Skeptic kind of to the right of Shu? I feel like just looking at their content, I feel like Armored Skeptic is to the right of Shu. That's just my guess, though. What's with the bunny? Oh, I don't know. It's like a cute little bunny. What do you want? All right, this video segment has gone on long enough. We should probably do donos. Oh, hey, guys. Since I've got 5,000 of you here. Hey, I know a lot of you are probably anti-fans. Happy to have you here, guys. Just so you know, I don't hate you specifically or any of the demographics that you belong to. If you're a white person, if you're male, if you're cisgender, if you're straight, any of that, upper class, upper middle class, I don't care. I don't care. I think everyone has the capacity to be a wonderful human being. If you have views that I disagree with, it is those views that I disagree with. But intrinsically, I think every one of us has the capacity to be a good person. If you come here from Sargon, hey, I love you, okay? I've gotten a lot of people over from Sargon's community, all right? Maybe stick around, because I'm going to be talking about one of two things next. And you guys get to decide on that, okay? I'm going to look at donos real quick, but after I'm done with those donos, all right? There's two things I want to go over. I am exhausted today. I only have energy for two, okay? I'm extremely weak, all right? Do you want next for me to finally do that short fat otaku conservatism is the new counterculture video, which I'm sure is going to be incredibly painful? Or do you want me to please say yes to the second one, okay? Because I'm going to run out of the energy to do it. Talk about why I'm a socialist and what the path that I want forward for America. I've never actually talked about it. I just want to do a quick video on it. It's going to be a paint stream video, okay? I know all you are going to want to do the first video because you're all, yeah, you all like video responses. Yep, I know. I know how it works. Oh! Huh! Well, far be it for me to fight with democracy. All right, well, we're going to do both anyway, so. Donos first, baby. Donos first. We get both at the same time. Yeah, I can like simulcast, you know, I can do both. Yeah, sure, we can give it a try. No, we can't. All right, hold on. Nickard Dixon. I love you too, comrade. Method with the gifted tier 1 sub. Thank you very much, comrade. Ghost of 50R with the gifted tier 1 sub. Thank you, comrade. And Thought with $3. I really appreciate that. Taryn Rich with the gifted tier 1 sub. Very, very appreciated, comrade. To Mellert, as it is. Our father in green with the $10. Benjamin Boyce would be a great guy to have a convo with. He lives in Washington. He's had tons of talks with this general sphere we're in. You should check his channel out. It'd be a very meaningful chat. I'll give it a look, comrade. I've heard about Benjamin Boyce in the past. I will definitely give it a look, comrade. Zap with the 666 ate my first titty chlorians today. Fuck yeah, comrade. I hope it goes well. Transition's a tough road, but I believe in you and gets better at the end, right? Right? I mean, that's what we're all doing here for. Hanafia with the $10. Oh no, here we are again with PC things. Ain't nothing. Hasn't crashed yet, has it? The stream isn't being weird or stuttery, right? Like, the stream is working just fine. Thank you so much for the $10, comrade. True, Big Ben friend. Sargon is indeed a Weasley little liar, dude. Shostaka Lich, thank you for the tier 1 sub, comrade. And Visual Lash, I'm really glad you enjoyed the male body positivity video. I need to do another video like that. Trans rights, Nico, and no problem for keeping you from being a tanky. I have heard about queer nationalism, the Demso Trash Panda, but I have to admit I don't give it too much credence. And Tort with $5, thank you, my dude. New Joe Rogan interview with Elon Musk, will I review it? Lol. No, Martin WW. I would rather kill myself, but thank you for asking. Lily, and then a bunch of capital letters. With the tier 3 sub, thank you. Finally catching a stream. Gods, could you produce less good stuff? It took me forever to catch up to the corona content wave. Dear Girl is valid, trans rights. Dear Girl is valid, but nonetheless cringy. I just think it's part of life that we have to accept that. And no, I will not stop producing good content. I take great pride in my high quality content, okay? I'm very happy to do what I do. True, Anthony. I form a worker co-op with myself. Maybe I should just say I've made my channel a worker co-op, because like it is, like, right? I'm me. Mr. Grumpy goes the $20. Sargon, the Karen of a cod. True. What a snowflake. What are you gonna do? Yeah, Ajax. We can call him Carl. Sargon is a stupid name. Make this a video and post it in his comments? Yeah, maybe. Primary Simchafelder. He does like responding to YouTube comments. Where the hell was Carl Gon's compassion for Lacey Green and Anita Sarkeesian and literally everyone he and his fans have gone after since Gamergate? I mean, he's a sociopath, so he doesn't really care. Like, he literally wanted to ruin these people's lives because it was all like theater for him. It's funny that he would accuse other people of engaging in political theater when Sargon would literally, like, orchestrate stunts to try and make people like Sarkeesian look as bad as possible, you know? Like when he showed up to that conference and all of his fans stayed up in the front row just so they could heckle her. Maybe, Najino. DeGero with the unbelievably generous $40 donation. Thank you, comrade. This is political violence against me for how aggressively stupid Sargon is, Jesus Christ. We're calling him Carl now, DeGero. But thank you very much for the $40. It's true, it does hurt to watch him. That's why all my videos of Sargon run so long, because I have to respond to every little fucking thing. I have to. I have no choice. Because it's so stupid, it's so dense, you know, it's laden with so much misinformation. I gotta put effort in, you know. Actually, you can make a decent argument that you are labor aristocracy due to subjugation of labor by the algorithm. Yeah, Horseman, that's probably a reasonable argument. Yeah, I wouldn't make the argument. I'm not bourgeois because I don't own the means of production, but it's probably not reasonable to call me a typical member of the proletariat. Labor aristocracy would probably accurately describe my my position. Are you going to talk about the distributist leak? Not yet. President Sunday, I plan on talking about it eventually, but I haven't yet. I actually haven't had a chance to watch all of it myself. Maybe I should just save it for the stream, you know? Bad praxis, Hannigan. Nice job to you being the sole surviving tanky, okay? I'm going to do to you what Stalin did not do to the homosexuals and let you live, all right? Nexus Hub SH, thank you for the tier 1 sub, comrade. I'm happy to read out your messages anytime. And Dog Eats Cow with the $10. Vosh, I've been binge watching all your stuff. Your due diligence and respect of education inspires me in my modern activism. Workers of the world reunite. Goddamn right, comrade. Workers of the world unite. I am so warm in here. Holy shit. Do I look sweaty? I feel like I look a little bit sweaty. Maybe a smidgen? A slight bit? Possibly? A little bit? Yeah, it's really warm in here. A tad dewy. Ah, wonderful. Thank you. What does honor mean to a communist? No fucking idea. Probably the same as everything else. New to your channel, but from the VODs of your debates, I've seen you lose your temper maybe once, and the rest of the time you're so respectful. Yeah, it was pretty much just that one debate with Sargon where I really lost my temper, because he is so insufferably smug, dude. It really does make me want to kill myself when I talk to him. The 2 times. It was better the second time because he was mad. Dude, the second debate with Sargon, when 10 minutes in he threatened to rage quit, was... oh god. I could have camed right in my fucking pants, dude. I could have flooded that with semen, just pumping fat ropes into my underwear, okay? That was so fucking fun for me. I got him back 10 times over for the anger I felt the first debate. I'd say that that first debate with Sargon was the only one I ever lost, and then I vowed to never lose a debate again. So far I think we're doing okay. Could have done a little bit better with Stefan Molyneux. It was the first time I ever got hit with that, like, you should make your channel a co-op thing, but I think I've got good answers to that now. So, you know, bit by bit, I only get stronger. Magic with the tier 1 sub. Thank you. And Ghost of FDR to get the tier 1 sub. Yeah. Milady. True. Arvin with the tier 1 sub, enjoy the power of dicks, and I'm really glad to hear that your rhetorical skills are improving IRL. I like being able to provide that to people. David Pino with the $10. What's your favorite Warhammer 40k faction? I want to paint a model for you. I like the Skitarii. I know they're new, but I like the Skitarii very much, dude. Oh, I like their little walkers. Probably the Skitarii and the Tyrannid would be like my boys, you know? Oh, it's cute. Well, it could murder you in an instant, okay? No! I think I saw a part fly off. Hold on. What is this? Okay. All right. We're good. Okay. Only 2. Tiny little pieces came off. Oh no. I think this one actually like for real broke. Okay. That one's not going back on, unfortunately. But that's okay. That's a little tiny piece. Yeah, that one's broken for good. It's okay. It was just the lowest rung on a ladder. But this part I can salvage. Oh, guys, it's not a big deal. Like, that part didn't really matter that much to me. This part I want to salvage, but I can. Hold on. Just a second. Okay, it went like... Just a second, guys. Went like this. Are we... There we go. Glue sniffing stream, baby. Unironically, glue smells pretty fucking good. Holy shit, can you... Oh, here we go. Okay, glue's flowing. Little dippy dab right there. And a little dippy dab right there. And we gently affix beautiful. There we go. It'll look better when it's painted. A little bit too much paint there. Oh, also the glue came off this foot, but I can fix that really quick. There we go. There we go, guys. And in 15 minutes, it'll be good as new. Okay. It's so warm in here. There you go, David Pina. That is my favorite Warhammer 40k faction. A COD debated Michael Brooks and got destroyed. Interesting. I haven't seen that RM Brown. Could you email that link to me if it's not too much of a bother? And Hardcore Val with the $5. In mainstream, maybe even on the YouTube platform, everyone is scared shitless of Sam Cedar. Tim's debate was so bad. Tim had to explain why it was so bad. Sam Cedar, I think... Sam Cedar, maybe this is conceited of me, but I would make the argument that Sam Cedar is, alongside me, probably the best debater on the left. I would say that it's probably Sam Cedar and I, and then I would probably say Kyle Kalinske is like a little below me. Xander Hall is also really, really good. I think a lot of people underplay Xander Hall, but Xander Hall is very, very good at debating, I think. But Sam Cedar, I think, is very, very good. I think he might be better than me. How do you get the better debate? You just do it. You keep doing it. The growth of your ego is pushing viewers out of the stream. Ha! Good. Not enough room for us both anyway. You asked for an example. I found the evidence they don't want you to see. Cute. You even got the things right. Well, I'll keep that on for a little bit, okay? We'll keep this one on. A. Weber with the $20. Thank you so much, comrade. Hey, Vosh, love your work. I used to be a libertarian / ANCAP, but watching your content has pulled me a lot to the left. You've really resonated with me, and I want to see leftism succeed. Workers of the world unite. Fuck, yeah, we're getting a lot of workers in the world uniting over here today, huh? Thank you, comrade. Fuck yeah. I'm really happy to hear that you've enjoyed my content. It's moved you over. It's my job, but you know, thank you. Um, oh, I haven't said this in a while. Hey guys, if you're watching right now from YouTube chat, just so you know, this wonderful display of chat, these beautiful funny frogs that guys. Bring the frogs out. Bring the frogs out. You too can post funny frogs. Only here on my website chat, vosh.gg, VAUSH.gg. It's that simple. Or you can even add a /live at the end. That'll get you there faster. Anyway, just look at man, look at that. What an experience. I'm actually getting pretty good at remembering pretty much everyone's name in chat. I mean, not like perfect, but I remember folks for the most part. So yeah, it's just that's the authentic chatting experience. Come over here, someone will probably gift you a sub or something. Just saying. Hi, Progressive, the tier 3 sub. Friendship ended with Sticks, Hex, and Hammer. Now Vosh, my best friend. I was always your best friend, comrade. Ain't never taken that away. Thank you very much, the tier 3 sub. I have not seen that majority report thing with Sargon, Frennick, but apparently I'll get to look at it soon. Dominic Craig, no, I haven't researched much stuff on syndicalism. I tend to focus on like more immediate improvements. I haven't done like much anarchist research. That's why I don't really talk about it in debates. Don't take off the beanie. It's a limiter. He'll demolish the left if it happens. True. If I take off Tim Pool's beanie, all the blood will finally rush to his brain, and there will be nothing stopping him from defeating the left once and for all. Monka S. We're going to do a few more, and then we're going to move over to that short Fat Otaku video, okay? Nigel Farage, very fucking true, comrade. Rent-free. An emergency alert with $5. Agreed. Rent-free. Dominic Cray with $2. Sargon's afraid of you. Vash, I know, and I love it. Makes me so fucking happy. Sheepist, the 750. I see you're making money in a capitalist society, yet you're a communist. Interesting. I am very, very smart, you see. True. Oh, God. I just got reminded by hanging it, folks. Sorry, folks. I know we got a lot of distractions on our plate, but who boy if they aren't relevant. Who boy if they aren't necessary. Look. We are going to be adopting babies. We're getting a Sphinx cat. Look at these disgusting little weasels. This is the one we're going to get. This dark one right here. This is the specific one that we're going to get. These little fucking testicles. These little scrotes. They're so disgusting. Yeah, they totally are, but Hyena loves them. And I'm sure I'll come to love them too. This is what it'll end up looking like, probably, more or less. Weirdo little fuckers. Little scrote baby. All right, a few more donuts, then we gotta get on with it. Where should one go to learn rhetoric, and how should you practice debating if you want to get good at it? You learn rhetoric from watching people who are better than you at debate, and by debating yourself. Go into Discord servers that orient with politics and talk with people who you disagree with. Also, watch me in Destiny and Sam Cedar talk with libertarians, okay? That's pretty much it. Like, that's it. Like, that does it. Yeah, probably not Dominic Craig. Vosh, what is your favorite DILF dictator I would like to fuck? Well, now that unfortunately Kim Jong-un is still alive, I don't think I have any dictator that I would like to fuck. Hillary Clinton? If Hillary Clinton was made president, you know the FEMA New World Order like death camps would be rolling out the next day. So maybe that'll be it, okay? Kyle M, thank you so much for the $5, comrade. And true, the idea guy, I do like using money. It is in fact something that I do to survive. And Gentlefish with the $5. I remember when you were just a baby Twitch streamer excited for a 400 viewer stream, literally just last year. The right is scared you're growing so fast. Yeah, a year ago at this time, I had about 1/10 the viewers. A big stream for me was 400. Today, a big stream for me is 4,000. Who knows what the future holds, huh? We got a long way up to go. Ugh. Pretty crazy, though. I remember when 400 for me, that felt like an infinite number of people, dude. That was crazy. Thank you, Araxio. You are building the coalition, comrade. Have some fake Australian money from a 20-year-old with dysphoria? Good luck, Felix Gaming. I love and believe in you, and hope that you are able to overcome it soon. Dominic Craig, Ashley is hotter, Shu is cool. I'm not really comparing the appearances of the female content creators that I know. I think that Ashley and Shu are both hot and both cool. I think they can both be both of those things. King Smegma with the 20 kronar. Mucho love from the frozen north, comrade. Good luck, okay? Do not let your thin blood cloud your senses, all right? Dark Puppy, thank you very much, comrade. Thanks for the $5, and I am developing more patience with time sometimes. Don't know if you've seen Avatar The Last Airbender, but this video covers colonialism in a nuanced and insightful way, and I think you'll like it. I have seen Avatar The Last Airbender many, many times, and it is one of the best series, I think, period. Like, I just think it's incredibly good. Yeah, I can give this a look. Sure, why not? Yeah. I don't talk about colonialism that often on my stream. It's just not something that tends to come up, but yeah, watch later. Give it to me. There we go. All right, that's enough. That's enough. We've got more donos to read, but we're going to have to wait just a little bit longer because if I go through them more right now, then I'm going to not want to continue the stream, okay? Hold on. Well, we see, funny rhetorician. True aboard, Lacanian. I've taken the 8 values test. Hold on. Okay, I've been saying that I was going to do this video for, I think, literally 2 weeks, and I haven't put it off for any particular reason. It just felt like it kept not happening. But Short Fat Otaku is a reactionary channel. I don't know much about it, apart from the fact that it's a reactionary channel. I don't know if this is like an alt-right channel. I don't know if this is just like a skeptic. I have no idea. No idea. But there was a video that came out. It was new at the time. And I'm a little curious, smidge curious about it. I know it says I've watched it, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. I think I just clicked through it to make sure that its content was, commentable.
I'm feeling like a broken record at this point. The last...
Okay, I'm experiencing this with you live, okay? Oh, that's nice. Look, we've got the Tracer ass. Free Hong Kong. Wait, if it's Free Hong Kong, why wouldn't you have May up there? May is the fucking symbol of the besieged proletariat of Hong Kong.
Like 5 videos of mine, I've had to do some kind of old man impression.
Also, am I... Guys, what exactly do I do when this is how the person self-presents in the video? How am I meant to respond? At least he's honest, yeah. I don't know. It could be ironic.
Back in my day, politics was like this. But I really do feel the need to bring up some stuff that's happened before because it's almost like people have just forgotten about it. Okay, so at this point, you must have heard the song Scott Pilgrim vs. the World ruined a whole generation of women, right?
Oh shit, didn't we see that one time on stream? Wasn't that like that crazy incel song that like hated women? That song was wild.
By Negative XP?
Conceited with no self-esteem. She's a teenage dream if you...
Hey, copyright.
Managed to nail down...
Copyright. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Scott Pilgrim ruined a generation of women. I mistyped that in like 6 different ways. Okay, here, we can take a look at the lyrics together, okay? So we don't get fucking copyrighted. This is good, this is good. I've seen this before, but this is really good. BPD and ecstasy, conceited with low self-esteem. She's a teenage dream if you hate yourself. Bright-dyed hair and obnoxious clothes. Thinks communism is the way to go. She's a whore, a hole, a dime a dozen Jezebel. Florid mind and SSRIs, 1,000-yard stare for all those guys that she fucked and sucked before you came along. Retarded views on politics. She likes to listen to shitty music. She drinks and smokes and tokes out of a dirty bong. She saw Ramona Flowers and felt so empowered by a movie made in Hollywood. It's sad to think she's someone's daughter, like a lamb to the slaughter, but honestly, I would still hit it if I could. BPD and ecstasy, 30 years old, but she acts like she's 16, likes to go to shows because she's so fucking cool, bright-dyed hair, but she's dead inside, Plan B lifetime supply, she's a horror hole, gave head since middle school, only pedophiles in denial think she's anything worthwhile. Didn't you just say you'd hit it if you still could? Okay. Her third eye lifestyle will drive you wild, she's an alcoholic loser bitch that likes to listen to shitty music. She drinks and smokes and tokes and chokes on dick. Yeah, you get, yeah, the gist. It's a interesting song. It's basically like the incel anthem, right? It's about how feminism or whatever has ruined a generation of women and how they're all sluts and worthless whores with no self-esteem who use drugs to suppress the pain and they have daddy issues. It's basically like the ultimate straw man of what like the red pill incel types tend to think of women. It's really, the song actually slaps if you listen to it, like the actual beat. I mean, you heard the first few seconds of it there at least. I like that grungy kind of noise, you know? But as for the lyrics, like, I'm gonna be honest, okay? Listen, are you ready for it? Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There's no way to say this without coming off a little bit conceited. But as somebody who has not, at least since entering college, had any trouble whatsoever, like having sex with people who I want to have sex with, it's really cringy, okay? That song is really cringy, okay? Because the people who believe that stuff are usually people who have trouble with women, and it really shows. If that's the type of song you're into, it really shows that you're having trouble with women, okay? Because, listen, women, being people, are often pretty fucked up, but most of them, honestly, are just trying to get through their lives, you know? This hyper-specific archetype of the whore who thinks she's this empowered woman by dyeing her hair and not shaving her armpits, but she's disgusting and drug-laden or something. This is an unbelievably small fraction of the population. And for every woman who acts like that, I can find you men who are as, if not equally pathetic in every conceivable way. The main issue is that the song conflates things which you could argue are genuine character flaws with things that are just things they don't like. So if you say a person is an alcoholic, I think that's a fair criticism of them. You can argue like, all right, well, we all succumb to illnesses once in a while, and alcoholism, like any other addiction, is an illness, not a criminal thing, and blah, blah, blah. But I think you could fairly say, like, if a person's an alcoholic, that would be a character flaw. I think that's fair to say. But if you then say, she's a whore, she's a hole, been giving head since middle school, I don't know. That I feel like that's saying more about the person who likes the song than it is about the person who's being described in the song. When you're like impugning a person for having BPD, I mean, that's just a condition you're born with. Borderline personality disorder, or possibly bipolar, though usually BPD is put to borderline. That's a little weird. Like people, like if you have that, you're born with it. So that's the issue, like the colored hair, you watched Ramona Flowers. It's this very strange, it's this contempt. It's this seething hatred for a particular archetype, and it's really, really strange. I think it says a lot of negative stuff about it's usually trauma-based. Okay, yeah, but like, it's not the fault of the person who has it. And so, yeah, it's just really, really weird. I don't know. Anyone who likes that kind of stuff, I feel like they have some anger issues with women. It's very strange. This goes out to those Scott Pilgrim versus the World ruined an entire generation of women motherfuckers. Is there like a counter song?
Some of you may recognize the song Scott Pilgrim versus the World ruined an entire generation of women based off some song. Scott Pilgrim versus the World ruined an entire generation of women, ruined an entire generation of men that frankly had no chance to be saved to begin with.
True.
Here we go.
Skater TKYLE, he dabbles in misogyny, and he's trying to have a threesome with you. His partner is non-binary and still refers to them as she and forbids them to see any other dudes. Has no good handle on consent. His parents are the 1%. His mom pays rent but says that he's oppressed. Won't date a trans girl even though he IDs as bisexual. Refuses to go see a therapist.
Some of you
That's pretty good. You draw that one out for 3 minutes, you know? I know that type. And then we have to do... So we have Scott Pilgrim ruined a whole generation of women, and then we've got Scott Pilgrim ruined a whole generation of women, ruined a whole generation of men, and now we need to have Scott Pilgrim ruined a whole generation of women, ruined a whole generation of men, ruined a whole generation of women, and then it's a person making a video on how that video ruined women who watched that video to make fun of the men who was talking about how women were ruined by Scott Pilgrim. We go infinite. We haven't even gotten to the fucking video. Okay.
Found that generic 90s punk sound, a genre of music I'm really not that interested in. But nonetheless, he's got enough talent to pull it off. The quality of the music isn't what everyone's talking about, though. It's
Yeah?
the lyrics.
Yeah, we know. I skip for yes.
Music, dude. But this song's wildly popular. Way more popular than anything else Negative XP has done. And it is because the lyrics are describing a certain type of person that would normally be very interested in this sound. Either the
What?
type of woman who would listen to this and really enjoy it, if the lyrics were different, of course. Or alternatively, the type of man who listened to this kind of stuff in high school, grew out of it, and is now
Wait.
having a
Wait, what? Yes. Well, the grungy noise would typically appeal to a certain archetype of female, but the lyrics makes him averse to. Wait, this is weird. I don't know what he's going on about.
problem finding an actual girlfriend to settle down with, because at least some of the girls his age are accurately described by this song. The actual guy himself, I'm not sure if he's just a memester or if he actually is an MRA.
I think the person who made that Ramona Flowers song is not as bad as the song itself would imply. From the last time I looked at this, I got the impression that he was just like an epic memester more so than like a virulent misogynist. But anyone who could write that song, I think, without a deep sense of irony, probably has some issues with women personally. Incel lives do matter, though. We stand. Please, for the love of God, why can't reactionaries breathe through their nose? I mean, you see, well, because he's reclining in a lazy boy, so he has to breathe through his mouth.
But to be honest, it doesn't really matter. Either way, the establishment right now is kind of angry at him for this song. But wait, what is
Wait, were you about to ask?
the establishment? And
That's a great question. What is the establishment? Are you saying like the DNC is mad at this guy? I was about to. Oh no, go for it. Yeah.
anyway, so we're just defending an incel and a sexist because punk culture. You do realize this guy's a serious incel.
One tweet with no likes and retweets shown.
You cannot claim to be a part of a culture or subculture if you have no idea what its roots and values are. Wearing all black does not make you goth. Liking the 70s and drugs does not make you a hippie. You cannot be a conservative punk. Culture is more than appearance and interests.
2 tweets with no likes and retweets shown.
Punk cannot literally be right-wing. Shut the fuck up, Lamau. The whole point is that it's not.
That is true, though. Punk is fundamentally anti-establishment, right? I mean, we can look at the history of punk. It can't be right-wing. How would you have right-wing punk? Like, how can you be punk but advocate for traditional or reactionary values? Because punk isn't just a musical genre. It's a cultural and political archetype, cultural and political, like, movement, wave. So, yeah. Now, I mean, when this person says punk, I don't think they're just referring to punk music. You could make punk music that has right-wing lyrics. But that would just be a song that sounds punk. I don't think you could reasonably say that it is a punk song.
What? Really? Is that the point? I didn't know that the punk subculture had a particular political slant.
You could have just ended the video right here. This is right where you should have ended the video. Right here would have been it. Right here. I didn't know it had a particular political slant. Wikipedia, punk. Oh, okay. And then he ends the video. That would have been a really good video right there. I would have lauded him if he could have ended it right here at 2 minutes and 41 seconds. I would have given, I think, very sincere props.
The punk subculture includes a diverse array of ideologies, fashion, and other forms of expression, visual art, dance, literature, and film. It is largely characterized by anti-establishment views, the promotion of individual freedom, do-it-yourself ethics, and is centered on a loud, aggressive genre of rock music called punk rock. Punk politics cover the entire political spectrum. The punk ethos is primarily made up of beliefs such as nonconformity, anti-authoritarianism, anti-corporatism, a do-it-yourself ethic, anti-consumerism, anti-corporate greed, direct action, and not selling out.
Is this meant to support his point? Yeah, a diverse array of ideologies doesn't mean including conservative ones. Look, nonconformity, what do you think reactionaries are arguing for? We can do this point by point. So, individual freedom, something the left cares a lot about, or at least the leftists that I tend to associate with. Nonconformity, when reactionary YouTubers are talking to you about how, like, the gay agenda or the trans agenda is being pushed, what do you think they're advocating for? When YouTubers get angry, when YouTubers get angry at people who express themselves in a way other than the hyper normative, like cis het straight fucking whatever, and they get angry about it, I feel like they're advocating for conformity. In fact, this video, the literal song we just listened to, was making fun of a woman for having sex with men, for having her hair be blue, and for drinking and using drugs. Is that punk? So that goes against individual freedom. That goes against nonconformity. And I could argue that would go against anti-authoritarianism too, if you're ascribing some sort of like pejorative moral belief to her behavior.
There's a wide array of punk fashion, including deliberately offensive t-shirts, leather jackets, Dr. Martens boots, hairstyles such as brightly colored hair and spiked mohawks, cosmetics, tattoos, jewelry, and body modification. Women in the
all thing that conservatives fucking hate, by the way. Yeah, conservatives, reactionaries are super into it when women wear traditionally masculine clothing, body mods, tattoos, cosmetics, and mohawks. They love that shit. There's just the huge like reactionary community on YouTube that advocates for all of these things.
hardcore scene, it typically...
Now, I want to be clear, though, by the way. It is possible for conservatives to adopt to adopt punk aesthetics, and it is possible for punk music to have reactionary lyrics. But the overall genre of punk, the predominant cultural and political predilection of the movement, has always been deeply left-leaning, or at the very least, deeply anarchic.
Wear masculine clothing. This definitely sounds like it can describe the left. The anti-corporatism, the direct action, the not selling out, as well as the fashion style, are all enjoyed by people on the radical left right now. But this also describes the right. The anti-authoritarianism and the do-it-yourself ethic, both things that are championed right now by the right.
Yes. Anti-authoritarianism, as broadly known by the right. Yes, the right, traditionally known for challenging systems of power. Well, it's true, though, they do. They do challenge systems of power. The SJWs on college campuses have long worked their nefarious scheme to suppress the white man, and to oppose these people is, in essence, a form of anti-authoritarianism. Guys, we're all Jordan Peterson fans here, I assume. C16, highly authoritarian state overreach. We can stretch definitions all the fuck we want. It's not happening. Punk is left wing.
As I described in the video 2 days ago, why is preparation problematic, are actively rejected by the radical left right now. They want the centralized authority to implement socialism.
What? Oh, we got another socialism understander. They want a centralized authority. What, like Bernie Sanders? Who are we talking about? What are we talking about?
And they want people dependent on that socialism, which means the do-it-yourself ethic is
what?
out.
What do you mean dependent on... What does that mean, to be dependent on socialism? Right now, you're dependent on capitalism. You realize that, right? You're dependent on whatever economic system you exist in, unless you go out into the forest and barter for your fucking food. So, what does that even mean?
It's my layman's understanding that the actual core of what punk is the anti-authoritarianism. It's being a part of the counterculture. In fact, it's being explicitly offensive towards the mainstream. Yeah. They're satirists. They're iconoclasts.
I'd agree with that.
They say and do things that the Karens of the world clutch their pearls at, and they say and do them specifically to cause that reaction.
No, not... well, we could say Karens, and that is a very evocative term right now, but I would say a more accurate description would be WASP suburban moms. There are left-leaning Karens, but when I actually think about the people who hate punk, it's not people who are mean to, cashiers. It tends to be the people who fell for the satanic panic back in the 80s, or the people who wanted video games banned back in the 90s. That's the group of people that tends to get really upset about this stuff. Highly moralistic white people, usually very conservative, who don't like it when people stray from traditional values.
But, as expected, there are a lot of social justice punks, basically just feminist women who like the fashion, who are, unsurprisingly, shitting all over negative XP for his song.
Some of you may recognize
Hey!
the song Scott Pilgrim vs. the World ruined an entire generation of women based
We
on
didn't have to watch it earlier. It's all coming back around.
some pop Pilgrim vs. the Woman with.
Misogyny.
This is really lazy. You just put the whole damn video in here?
She has no good hair.
Oh, whoa. Lol, you mad, bro? Oh, shit, this guy's mad at the video. He can't even just show it without adding his commentary. Now that's an epic rebuttal right here.
Handle on consent.
Punk is meant to offend, not be offended. That's what it says. That's what my webcam is blocking. I don't know what that has to do with this.
His parents are the 1%. His mom
At least try to play it as well. Shit, dude. Dude, this guy's so mad. He can't just show the video.
refuses to go see a therapist.
I guess punk is about embracing the establishment politics and sanitizing language now.
What? So it's embracing establishment politics to critique misogyny. That's why I'm criticizing this shit. Because these stupid motherfuckers will play word games to try and make it seem like conservatism is now the new counterculture. It's not, motherfucker. Why do you think the punk said Nazi punks fuck off? Like, what? Nazi punks fuck off. Like anarchy in the UK. Why do you think they criticized conservatism? When punks were like, fuck Nazis, do you think that was kowtowing to the establishment by censoring the free speech of Nazis? Or do you think it was actually more likely that people like Nazis or people like misogynists are actually just extreme outcroppings of the establishment? Whether you like it or not, guys, and I know that people like Short Fat Otaku over here are stupid and don't really have a broader understanding of cultural perspective, but the people in charge of our society are pretty fucking conservative. Blue-haired SJW college student punk whatevers aren't running our fucking halls of Congress, they're not in the Supreme Court, they're not in the presidency, they're not in our school boards, they're not running our PTA meetings, they're not our governors, they're not our mayors, they are full-on fucking college students. They're not meaningfully in a position of power, and just because they're popular on fucking TikTok or Instagram doesn't mean that they become the establishment. So it's not exactly kowtowing to authoritarian politics by writing a song to critique misogyny. Like, if we actually back off the euphemisms here, that's the argument Short Fat Otaku just made. It is pro-establishment to write a minute-long song on TikTok where you critique someone for being misogynistic. That is the actual argument that is being made here. Does that sound like a sound argument to you guys? Are you feeling it right? In your heart. Everyone, shh, be quiet. Listen to your heart. Does that sound like a good argument? Or does that sound like a fucking loser conservative desperately trying to imagine that they're the counterculture, even though they believe in and support every hegemonic authoritarian belief that's been pushed for the past century? I mean, whatever sounds more likely to you. First video I've done of Short Fat Otaku, by the way. Whew, hope it gets better.
Guys, I guess it's all about falling in line with the corporate-sponsored climate protests.
But what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Corporate-sponsored climate protests. Also, as long as the President of the United States of America still doesn't really seem to believe in climate change, it doesn't matter if climate protests are corporate funded. They also do this to try and make it sound like activism is a counterculture. Like there'll be a bunch of like grassroots protests, but one of them will be sponsored by Coca-Cola or something, and then all of them will snicker and go like, I thought you were anti-corporate. There's no actual willingness to engage with these ideas. They just like feeling like they're oppressed.
Or ratting out rule breakers who are going outside for non-essentials right now. Or
What? What does that have to do with what does that have to do with punk? These are, I guess he's just like listing random things. I assume that he like was drawing this back to a central point, but I don't know.
demanding government handouts. What happened to the do-it-yourself?
Wait, demanding government wait, what? It's not punk to want some kind of UBI stipulation while the government has shut down most businesses. What? Yeah, that's our tax money, motherfucker.
Ethic. They're no longer the counterculture, they're part of the establishment now. They still desperately want to cling to that rebellious feel.
We've shown one TikTok video, a few tweets from people with no likes and retweets shown, and then he just vaguely listed corporate-sponsored climate protests and people ratting on those who go outside without masks. And now we have established the left is actually the real authoritarian culture, and the right is the counterculture. We've done it. That's all it took, believe it or not.
That they're somehow the freedom fighters going up against the entire world. But who actually believes it? All of their musical stars are past middle age taking corporate sponsorships.
What?
Their fashion is mainstream.
What?
Their subculture is now popular and profitable.
Wait, are we talking about punk? Wait, punk fashion is mainstream? Mainstream is a t-shirt and jeans. Mainstream is a button-up shirt with a sweater over it. What are we talking about? Yeah, punk is like kind of dead. What? Wait, the right is the new counterculture because old punk musicians are old now? Okay, guys, listen, punk isn't dead, but also, let's be real, punk is kind of dead, okay? Hey, it's okay. Listen, punk had its time. Now we have Fortnite dances, okay? The new Zoomer generation, the new anti-authoritarian Zoomer generation is evolving, okay?
Like Scott Pilgrim has shown us. I saw a fascist who is still
Oh, we got a tweet with one like this time.
thinking about this and how punk is anti-establishment, so we can continue to be Trumpian and listen to punk. Oh, really? And how anti-establishment are you? Considering that virtue signaling is the establishment now.
What the fuck does that mean? Virtue signaling is the establishment? Any group of people can virtue signal. Conservatives virtue signal all the time. All that tinfoil hat, fucking conspiracism, all that empty patriotism, that's all virtue signaling. Republicans are literally in government right now. Hey guys, I'm sorry, you can't be a fan of the current sitting president who is an authoritarian and also claim to be anti-establishment. You can't do it. You're not allowed. I'm really sorry, guys. You can't do it. You're not allowed to. I'm really, really sorry. These people, they'll act like they're like a besieged minority. Dude, the Nazis of the, I keep saying Nazis because of like the term Nazi punks, but the punks of the 1980s, they literally had their shows broken up by police. Like, the punks of the 1980s were anarchic. They were constantly subjected to storms of media hatred. They didn't have a fucking president in office. Are you kidding me? It's not like punk of the 80s was like pro-democratic party either. Like even remotely. They were for the most part like full on like ACAB anarcho dipshits who would, piss on each other at shows and generally make a ruckus. And that's what people loved them for. So like they were very anti-establishment. If you're a Trump supporter, you just can't lay claim to that. And it's honestly, I'll be honest with you guys, it's kind of cringe. It's kind of fucking cringe. When conservative authoritarians who are simps for the current sitting president, who want to scale back on cultural degeneracy, believe that they're the counterculture, that they're the new punk rock. It's kind of cringe. I don't know. We're not really buying it.
And you've got that rainbow flag emoji in your name. You've got those pronouns in your bio.
Pronouns in bio. You claim to be counterculture? Pronouns in bio are the establishment. Rainbow flags in your Twitter name are the establishment. How do you feel now, motherfucker?
And yes, virtue signaling is the mainstream culture right now.
You virtue signal? Now you're the establishment.
I don't give a fuck if you're cisgender. Put your damn pronouns in your bio.
Anime avatar picture? Now you're the establishment. Pronouns in bio? Now you're the establishment.
Hey, just want to urge cis oomps to put your pronouns in your bio. Let's help create a safe space for the transgender community. A good way to...
28 likes and 12 retweets? Now you're the establishment. Holy... Is Shortfight Otaku, like, okay mentally? Does he actually believe that, like, name searching pronouns in your bio, that's why pronouns in your bio is bolded, by the way, and finding it on Twitter is like an accurate indicator of who's on top of power structures in society? This is insane. Wait, if I like Google searched MAGA, I would not be showcasing things with 12 retweets and 28 likes, my dude. But even then, even though I can make a better case using your methods than you can, I would not use those methods because that's not how you make arguments. People asking for pronouns in bio is a little cringe. I don't fucking care. They're not power majority holders in society. I don't give a shit. If people want to put pronouns in their bio on fucking Twitter, what business? I don't care. It doesn't affect anyone. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't change the world. Maybe it like does something for them. Like maybe they like it. Like that's great. Let them. Hey, remember how this guy claimed that he was pro-individualism and anti-authoritarianism, but he's making fun of these people for exercising their individual will in a completely harmless way? That's kind of interesting, huh? I thought this guy was supposed to be anti-collectivism over here. I thought he was supposed to be pro-individualism, but here he is making fun of people for identifying in the way they would want. That's interesting.
Signal to trans people that you're with them is to put your pronouns in your bio. We would like this to become standard practice because it makes more sense. Putting pronouns in your bio for cis people helps normalize and protect trans individuals. If this is the mainstream right now...
If that's the mainstream, after going over a tweet with 4 likes, the President of the United States of America took trans people off the White House website and banned them from the military. And we've had all that trans bathroom bill horseshit. Dude, you're actually like delusional. This short fact, I didn't know what this video was when I got in. This person is actually delusional. They actually believe that if you just look for terms on Twitter, that is the metric by which you can determine who the majority power holders in society are. That is incredible.
Bio for cis people helps normalize and protect trans individuals. If this is the mainstream right now, then the offensive counterculture would be to parody this, but sarcastically using Z and Zer, or mentioning identifying as an attack helicopter or something.
Oh my god. I didn't realize this would be such low-hanging fruit. You see, the real anti-authoritarianism is when you make helicopter jokes to oppose the trans hegemony on Twitter, the true bastion of power in society.
That's not considered punk, even though it actually fits with the original spirit of punk. That's considered fascist or whatever.
Dude, this guy's like a LARPer. This guy like this is really sad. He like really wants to be anti-establishment. I'm really sorry, my dude. Hey, listen, Short Fed Otaku. If you want to talk sometime, we can talk about what you could do to be an anti-establishment type, okay? Lauding the sitting president and wanting people to return to traditional gender and sexual norms, believe it or not, isn't actually that punk, my dude. I'm really sorry. I'm super sorry, my dude.
Alright, forget the stupid Twitter junk for a minute.
Yeah, okay. Sure, yeah, I'll forget it forever because it made you look really dumb.
The punk subculture is still about being shocking. It's still about being provocative.
Okay, but they were shocking a specific group of people for the most part. When punk people do their mohawks and crazy get-ups and say the stuff that they say, they were trying to offend moralistic people. Like, for the most part, okay, guys, I could be wrong. Guys, I'm not that into the music scene. So you guys let me know, okay? Let me know if I'm right or if I'm wrong. The punk scene, when they try to offend groups, usually punched up, right? So they would make fun of religion. They would make fun of the political establishment. They would make fun of, in some cases, depending on how radical the group is, like the white supremacy or like patriarchy. Sometimes they would, though it was usually more of a broad anti-establishment thing, okay? Punk groups did not usually punch down. There weren't usually, back in the 80s, back in the heyday of the punk scene, a bunch of people who'd be like, yeah, we're edgy punk. Fuck black people, am I right? And fuck women, am I right? That wasn't generally the vibe, I don't think. They usually directed their criticisms up because, again, if you are countercultural and you are anti-establishment, you're usually going to direct your criticisms up at those people because that's the establishment. Doesn't make much sense to be anti-establishment and then leverage your propensity to offend against the people who are not power majority holders.
It's still about causing moral panics. The only difference is, it's now the punks themselves that are the targets of it.
The difference is there's a difference between a moral panic and just being immoral. The WASP moms worrying their kids were listening to satanic rituals by playing punk rock backwards in their homes, that's a moral panic. People believing that communists have infiltrated Hollywood during the McCarthy era, that's a moral panic. People believing that video games are teaching all of our kids to be murder machines, that's a moral panic. Fascists walking around on the streets in open neo-Nazi marches being opposed by counter-protesters, that's not a moral panic. That's just immoral. That's just fighting against immorality. A moral panic is usually a derogatory term for people who ascribe some kind of empirical moral harm to a harmless thing. That's usually how it goes. Yeah, punks would beat up skinheads. Yeah. That wasn't a moral panic. Oh yeah, dude, when America fought against the Nazis, that was a moral panic. We had a moral panic about the Nazis. No. I don't think so, my dude.
Again, at the risk of sounding like an old man, the left of today has failed to...
Everyone, preemptively, rate 1 to 5 how stupid this take is about to be. Rate 1 to 5, okay? I guess I didn't really give you guys whether the 1 or the 5 was the stupidest one. Well, it's a group effort, okay?
Realize that we've advanced into a new political era. The Republicans were once the party of George Bush and the neocons. They were all about globalist corporatism.
This motherfucker is a fascist. I don't know if this guy's a neo-Nazi. This dude is 100% a fascist. I wonder if he has a video out on Nick Fuentes. Oh, 100%. If you start using the term globalist to describe Republicans, I know exactly. I know your fucking mark.
Eternal war in the Middle East, generally over oil, and codifying Christian fundamentalism into American law. During that era,
as opposed to Trump, who is still codifying Christian moralism into American law by saying that the Bible is the most important book in the world to him, still codifying Christian morality by opposing gender and sexual minorities, continuing wars by upping drone strikes from Obama, continuing the wars in Yemen, pulling out of our boys in Syria, which prolongs war in that region. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. A huge departure. Yeah, Mike Pence. Oh yeah, dude. They used to be about a global war and religious moralism, but now they have Mike Pence in office.
The 90s and the 2000s. It was very easy for the left to hold the moral high ground against that kind of an opponent. And most people who are relatively apolitical, but lazily identify as center-left, do so because of that era. Left became the dominant political affiliation for your average Joe.
What? George Bush had a massive approval rating immediately after 9/11. What the fuck are you talking about? Hold on. Can I get a graph on this? Hold on. Is this legitimate? Okay, this is legitimate. It doesn't have any axes, though. It works next to the other graphs that I see. This one's just more high res. Blue is approve, red is disapprove, green is indifferent. After 9/11, he had an unprecedentedly high historical approval rating. It was only into his second term that people started to dislike him. And the reason they disliked him was in large part because he was fucking incompetent. He had no idea what he was doing in Iraq and Afghanistan. Green, yellow, whatever. Yeah, notice how the undecided plummets right after 9/11. Immediately after 9/11, there was 7% of the population that wasn't in full approval of him. It's wild. The idea that George Bush was this magnate for the counterculture is ridiculous. Right now, oh God, I think that the Democrats narrowly outmargin the Republicans in terms of total population, and we would probably do so even more if there weren't so many disenfranchised black and brown people in this country. But yeah.
Because the right was just constantly dropping the ball. But there was
as opposed to Trump.
Paradigm shift in 2012. Again, go back to that Rachel Maddow clip that I posted a week or so ago.
What?
The Republicans got destroyed in those elections. And when they came back, they were not George Bush's Republicans. The remnants of that Republican Party are still embodied in like the Mitt Romney Never Trumpers, who are basically losers at this point. They have no political capital anymore.
I like listening to politically ignorant people try to describe a rise in populism as though it meaningfully changes anything. So our highly conservative, borderline fascist, neoconservative, economically obsessed, cuck to business, cuck to Israel, like a religious authoritarian Republicans became that, except less articulate. And this is like in some way a massive change. There's literally data that the average American identifies as center-right or moderate conservative. I'd have to take a look at it.
But the left still pretends like it has the moral high ground, like it's fighting the right wing of old. Like,
What the fuck? This doesn't mean anything. What? The left believes it's fighting against George Bush, when actually it's fighting against Trump. What the fuck does that mean? I love it when people who clearly have no fucking idea what politics means try to talk about politics.
they are somehow still the counterculture, still the subversive.
Yes, you're the president. And the left? Are you kidding? Even if we take the left to mean everyone who supported Bernie Sanders, that's still a minority. You have the president. You can't pretend to be anti-establishment when you're standing for the president of the United States.
Development taking on the evil empire. But that's just not how it is anymore. The radical left is not the rebellion. And this whole punk thing with this, frankly, kind of dumb negative XP song perfectly encapsulates this wider issue. These people have been so used to thinking that they are the counterculture, that now that they're not, now that they've actually seized cultural power, now that their ideology can be found everywhere in our society.
Ah, yes. Those tweets surely did. I can't, like, this, like, I mean, we were done with this video. This guy literally thinks that you determine who the majority power holder in society is by what trends are on Twitter. He didn't even find, like, a big trend. He just found one big tweet and 3 tweets with no engagement whatsoever. That's his entire argument. It's incredible. True, Comrade Cora. It's true, though. Like, that guy, I would bet you anything that if I had a conversation with that fucking idiot, Short Fat Otaku, that he would come down and defend basically every, like, anti-degeneracy, like, pro-authoritarian argument imaginable. There's no way in fuck this guy is not an authoritarian. I would guarantee it off of anything. But he can talk with me if he wants to, you know. Vosh, I don't want to take his side, but how do you know he agrees with Trump? Maybe he's an edgy libertarian who hates Democrats and Republicans. Does anyone really get the impression this guy doesn't like Trump? Does anyone actually feel that way? He spent the entire time criticizing the left, and then he described Trump as some sort of countercultural, anti-authoritarian alternative. Nah, this dude's a Trumper 100%. 100%. Nice meme. I mean, it could be conceivable, but hey, you know what? He's so bad at articulating his politics that if he's that inarticulate, it's up to him to renounce his or disavow his political beliefs. He can talk with me if he would like to. Yeah, dude. It's over. I didn't realize we're the establishment now. They're actually delusional. Remember that debate that I did with JF where he literally argued that like people like me are about to seize power, like I'm basically already in power? Yeah, guys, he literally made fun of Never Trumpers, who he called losers. Yeah, okay. He's Canadian? And? You think there aren't Canadians who... Stephen Crowder is a Canadian. Stefan Molyneux is a Canadian. JF Gariepi is a Canadian. There are a fuck ton of degenerate Canada cucks who are coming down to suckle our teat of politics. Anyway, yeah, JF Gariepi. Dude, I wish I was as powerful as these delusional motherfuckers seem to think I am. That would be so nice. Oh yeah, Jordan Peterson, of course. Lauren Chen, yeah, and Lauren Southern, yep. Yeah. Sargon is streaming about me right now? Oh, is that true? Is that true? Sargon, you can't go live while I'm live. Sargon. The brainlets of BreadTube. Let's take a peek. I accidentally nodded my little earbud. Hold on.
think the position of saying I'm okay with people of different races coming to my country and assimilating to my culture sounds like the exact opposite of white nationalism to me. But what do I know?
And the thing is, I am of mixed race descent. This is exactly what my grandfather did.
I can't be a white nationalist. I have a black grandpa. We got Adam friended here. We got the moderator for the first one.
In World War II. Like, he came over to fight the Nazis. Turns out he's in like some protected profession, like farming or whatever it was.
What's your descent, Sargon?
St. Helena, which is just an
What
island.
the fuck does that mean?
It's where Napoleon died. It's the island where Napoleon died. But basically, it means that they had like slave ports and stuff like that there. So, and then the British Empire ended. There's a problem, man, because these people believe things that are genuinely fundamentally different to the rest of us. Like Vor's going on like, I'm a white nationalist because I think ethnicity is inherited. And it's like,
no, you're a white nationalist because you said Europe for the Europeans, and you said you would only consider true British people to be people who are ethnically British. Yes, that would be literally, the literal definition of ethno-nationalist is a state which gatekeeps citizenship behind your ethnicity. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, white British, yeah. Which he would say is ethnically British, yeah.
how does he think it? You know, it is. That's how people get their ethnic identity, from their parents.
I told you, you shouldn't.
This is the third person talking.
Conflate ethnicity with culture, Sargon. I told you, I warned you, so I was going to get you in trouble. Stop it.
Who's the third person talking? Does anyone know the voice of the third person? PSA, PSA Sitch. That's right.
The only culture from their parents as well. Traditions of their homelands, and it's like, okay, like I'm not even joking.
It seems like the arguments of cultural appropriation and cultural assimilation are at odds, though, which I think is a real problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, multiculturalism, by definition, is racist and terrible. And
Vosh, you should pay for what you did to Hunter Avalon. Oh, damn. We had like a former Avalon stan.
we need to throw that shit in the trash. But for us, this is America, damn it. And we want the melting pot.
That's basically it, isn't it? And like, you've got to draw these boundaries between each group now, so there becomes a kind of de facto cultural segregation. And it's like, okay.
Nice. Hey, what do you think the odds are of us being able to hop in real quick? There's no way they're going to want to talk to me, right? He literally just made a video about how he's not going to want to talk. What are they even on? Is this like Zoom or something?
You know, like in Britain, people get arrested for putting bacon on mosques. That's a hate crime.
Wait, what do you mean they put? How do you put like what do they tape it to the wall?
Yeah, like someone will put some bacon over the handle of a mosque, and this.
Oh my God.
This is a hate crime, and you unironically will go to jail for that in Britain. And yeah,
I mean, yeah, that's literally a hate crime. Why else would you do that other than to specifically like ascribe antagonism? Is that something you just typically do? Like you just like leave bacon strips on door handles? Like that's a thing you just generally do?
Well, the Muslims just like, oh, fuck.
Having, you know, quote unquote black hairstyles, then you can't. Then it shows that culture is being accepted into the majority culture, and suddenly they can't be otherized. Suddenly they're not the victims anymore.
That's part of assimilation, definitely.
Yeah, and then but
Like
it's a good
on
point.
live?
Then they're not the victims anymore. Yeah,
Carefully cultivating.
but they're unironically losing as well if they allow them to integrate. What did you guys think about throwing out a subject and accepting debaters who want to argue for position rather than setting up star-studded shout matches? Ralph got ambushed by Vorsh, called a racist, but won the shout match, but started drinking.
Wait,
after.
Ralph got
Yeah, I think
ambushed by me? What?
Ralph took out Vorsh quite handily.
Oh yeah, Sargon thinks that Ralph actually beat me in that debate.
I didn't even know they did. Ralph and Vosh did a stream together.
Yeah, Vorsh was basically going, yeah, I don't care that I'm a scumbag who promotes pedophilia. And Ralph's like, okay, well.
Sargon, you literally said it depends on the child. You've literally defended pedophilia before. I've never defended pedophilia in my life.
I don't
Wait,
know to say.
what? He promotes pedophilia?
Have you not heard about his logical pedophilia?
I think he's thinking about
Oh,
Destiny.
yeah, I remember him
Bullshit.
saying something like buying a computer is as ethically neutral as the same ethnically as being a pedophile or something.
Yes. Watching child porn is
Yeah.
ethic name. Vegan
Those
game.
Are they on Skype? Does anyone know? Is this a Skype thing? This is Zoom.
Right?
How can you put those on the same level?
Dude,
come on.
Vegan Gains, you can see the clip. Vegan Gains just like, right. I disagree with that.
Wait,
We got to try to get in here, boys. We got to try to get in here. How do we contact these people? Do I have Adam friended on Discord? No, I have Adam friended on Skype. I bet these boomers still use Skype. No, that's not it. Fuck, what program did I use to initially contact Adam friended? Was it Twitter? But Twitter DMs don't tend to pop up on your phone. People usually mute them. It'll be a 3-on-1. Are you ready for it? Are you kidding? Listen, it's not about how many people there are. It's about how much brain mass you have, okay? And they are very outgunned. What do we got? Yeah, you know. Wait, do I not even have Adam friended in my Discord, my Twitter DMs? I'm positive I talked to... Oh, there we go.
Well, hopefully just being friends with you is enough to piss people off. So so objective morality, I debated Tom jumping in on objective morality. You didn't like the debate, Sitch, even though you were proven right in the debate.
Okay, I like that I was proven
confuses me
right
a little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
But I wanted to mention, because we've had Sargon on a couple of times to debate free will, and it seems
Sid
like
just lost all of those debates.
Well, no,
You conceded. What are you talking
you
about?
conceded in your simp video. You basically have the same exact position as us. If you're saying that simps,
Their
do not
chat
have
is
free
literally
will
just
because they cannot.
What is the point of doing a live stream if you don't pay attention to the chat? I spoil you guys. I'm always looking at chat. I love you guys. I love my chat people.
They cannot fight their own.
Making the choice to be not ruled by your emotions is free will.
It's the only way that you can demonstrate that you're not.
Right.
Well, if you're just following your appetites, as you say, aren't you just being led around by your intuition, your
but you're
animal
still doing
intuition?
It voluntarily. You're doing it voluntarily. I mean, at any point you could turn around and stop.
Yeah, I don't know. Do
I don't know.
animals have free will? I don't necessarily know that they do.
No, they don't.
Okay, so you agree animals don't have free will?
No, but humans, because we are the rational animal that can deliberate, have free will.
But there are people that don't rationally deliberate. They're just following around their intuitions, just like animals.
What magical distinction is there between human beings and other animals that would ascribe us an ability to resist the deterministic forces of the universe? What the fuck? What do you think the best way to contact them is? Fuck, I don't have them on Discord or on Skype. Super chat? I'm not fucking super chatting them. Here, I'll tweet.
But these you might have done loads of exercise the previous night and gone, right, I'm not going to eat any dessert tonight because tomorrow morning I'm going to eat this dessert because I think I just really enjoy it after I get up, so you're still eating the same amount of calories. It might be a rational decision.
So I got on debate Vosh, you beta.
The only way we can tell it's a truly purely rational decision, not just us following our eyes.
All right, well, there's nothing I can do except tweet. I sent out the tweet. I'm going to read donos. If they do it, they do it. If not, we'll find something else to do. But first, we got to read donos. It seems important to me. Or the real nice like. Or super chat. I'm not going to fucking I don't think they're reading super chats or chat or anything like that. Christy E, thank you so much for the $10, comrade. And Cakebot, I have no fucking idea. Is debating the best way to change a friend's mind? No, Manu. Debating is not a good way to change other people's minds, but it is a good way to change the mind of an audience. Shota Tongue Jismark with the $5. Keep pushing your GF on that vote blue no matter who, okay? You're gonna get her eventually. And Brian Jones with a very, very generous $20. Debate Ryan Dawson. He said you have to reach out to him. Whatever. I just want two of my favorite YouTubers to debate and share ideas. You like Ryan Dawson? That's the weird anti-Semite guy, right? Yeah, it is. What would I debate with Ryan Dawson? Like, what would I debate with him? Yeah, he's like crazy. I talked with him a little bit over email, and he ended it by saying, "You deserve what's coming to you." Like, it was really weird. A really weird dude. I don't know. Our father in the green with the $10. I wonder if Short Fat Otaku would accept the debate discussion. I'd definitely watch that. He made a video about how he used to be an SJW that I thought was good. Interesting. I haven't seen that. That's the first video of his that I've seen any reasonable length of. But yeah, maybe. I mean, possibly. No problem, Yabber Baron. And a person that's talented churning out multiple works of arcs today deserves to have dicks. True. Thank you, Iron Mage, for the gifted tier 1 sub.
Oh no! 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 Oh no!
That's enough of that. Thanks. Yeah, David, it's not that big of an issue, but it is something to be dealt with. Johnny, be good with the tier 1 sub. Thank you. This was literally Carl at one point.
Because you have no honor, you goddamn bitch. You have no honor! You see what I'm talking about? It's a whole thing, Frank.
True! Very true, comrade. I'm going to donate to Spike Carl of Swindon. You're doing great work, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Holmer. I really appreciate that, comrade. Erkia with a very generous $20. I feel so bad for you, Vosh. Me too. Every moment of my life is suffering, but I do it for the entertainment of you guys, okay? Thank you very much, comrade. And Unhome with the $5. Really happy to hear you're less bitter and happier on this side, comrade. Trans rights. The chat is still saying debate Vosh in all caps. Lafety, thanks the tier 1 sub, and Neon North £5. Thank you. Go back to d.gg chat, motherfucker. Sam Daddy Cedar is the better debater. So you say, Nefertiti Red, but I'll get there eventually. Sam Cedar's like 50. He's had more practice than me. And New Avalanche, the tier 4 sub. Thank you, comrade. That is really kind of you. Optimal chatting experience. If you're not fucking watching Vosh content with a yellow name, you're not watching Vosh content at all. That's the truth. That's the reality. That's the truest shit there is, okay? It's not, you're basically not even getting close to the full experience. The yellow name really sets it, really seals the deal. Thank you for the tier 1 sub, Jen. And Lexify, thanks the gifted tier 1 sub. Have you heard of the Ghost of Tsushima? Heard rumors. Yeah, I've heard a little bit about it, but I haven't watched much about it. I'll give it a shot at some point. And so just Blackguard with the tier 3 sub. I'm not banned anymore. Apparently, I am resubscribing. I was burning your bus. Sorry. I'm sorry for banning you, comrade. Listen, the burning your bus shit gets me real hopped up. Real hopped up. I really appreciate the subscription, comrade. I remember Oni Yukiro, and thank you, Nerdbeep, for the $5. I really appreciate it. And David, I know. Shio with the $10. Thank you. Thanks for the great content, my man. My pleasure. Anytime, comrade. I'm not going anywhere. Man, there are a lot of donors today. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything out of this, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like half of Sargon's views right now are coming from you guys.
Appetites are implying it. Like I'm not gonna rule out that there isn't, but I would love to see the evidence. I'd love to see how he's deriving that from whatever he finds.
Well, that was my criticism of your conversation with him, Adam, is that his evidence is, he says moral progress and moral intuition somehow is evidence of objective morality.
Yeah, that's bonk.
That conversation is way over those guys' heads. Whoa, that's too close to my face. Hold on. Oh, we've been having too much fun, folks. We got to run through a few more. Traveling Trans Girl with the incredibly kind tier 4 sub. Thank you, comrade. Nazi punks fuck off. They will soon, okay? We're gonna do it. We're gonna make a non-Nazi ethno state, a non-Nazi ideoglo state, all right? It's gonna be sick. I just had this debate yesterday. He was saying Nick Fuentes is punk because he is edgy and that punk just means edgy. That's about the cognitive level that I would expect from a conservative Run Creek debate. Thank you. Hug to you and all other BPDs in chat, Lit and Mai. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. And yeah, the Scott Pilgrim is a great movie and a great manga, Gale Deep. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. I completely agree. Thank you, your wife was calling AFK. And I refuse to sub because it's alias of gray, not alias of orange. True alias of gray. You have to hold true to your identity, comrade. Sargon's videos in The Last Airbender are okay. Possibly Kevin89. I will never, ever watch them. And Larry Banks, thanks for the $3. Their cowardice will live in infamy forever. In practice, they're authoritarian individualists. Well, they say they're individualists because you can be an individualist in their eyes as long as you're not going against hegemonic moral values. If you are going against those hegemonic moral values, then then fuck you, you know? Not really anti-authoritarian. My pleasure, Soyoritel. Really, Ashobi, I'll keep that in mind. Well, Ashobi, Free Thought Storm, and Soyoritel, thank you so much for the $5, comrade. I really appreciate it. RM Brown with the $5. Punk bands, including Black Flag and Bad Brains, were constantly fighting skinheads who would try to ruin their shows. That's well documented. Yeah, who would have thought that anti-authoritarians actually don't like Nazis? Don't worry about it, guys, okay? Remember when I said at the beginning of the stream that I'm super fucking tired? Remember when I said that? Fuck, the next segment is going to take my thinking thoughts. The Lone Grifter, I might do a 40k painting stream sometime, but I'm not sure if anyone would want to watch that. Thank you, Felix Argyle. Happy to be your ally, comrade. Now and forever. Until I die. Hashmanik is Shabazz, the very kind 20 Australian. What do you think of Starship Troopers? I think the movie is brilliant. The movie is an unbelievably funny satire of fascism, but most of its fans are too stupid to realize they're the ones being made fun of. It's really, really, really dumb. Really, really dumb. But the movie itself is excellent. Sargon doesn't understand the satire. MS Sloth with the tier 4 sub, thank you. I just found this manga from like 89 about a trans femme girl in high school. It's a gag manga. It's called Stop Hibari-kun from 89. God damn, trans people didn't even exist back then. This manga might have invented it. Stop Hibari-kun? Hell yeah. Well, you guys can check that out, right? Stop Hibari-kun. It's spelled the way it sounds. Thoughts and tips to red pill liberal and moderate allies, particularly along more radical leftist stances like gun control and collectivization of businesses. You have to work people on the wedge issues they care about. Stuff like healthcare, ending wars, and you can build up from there. All right, folks, I think it's time. I think it's time, guys. I don't think we're going to get a pip out of Soygon and Adam Dumb did. Ha, got him. But I do think there's a segment that I've been meaning to do anyway, that I want to talk about, okay? I want to talk about it with you guys. It's very important to me. Are you ready for it? Well, keep being ready for it, because I've got to go use the restroom. I'll be back in a second, okay? Oh, I was muted. Whoops. Damn, that's a shame. I actually said something kind of funny when I came in. You guys will never see it now, though. You'll never understand. Such is life. Soygon isn't even paying attention to the super chat. Yeah, of course not, of course not, of course not. Because they're not streamers. They don't want to. This is the difference between live streams done by. I said this literally yesterday during my video game stream. You know for a fact the absolute nadir of intellectualism on YouTube is when skeptics get together and have a group chat on call. That's it. It's the absolute when like 4 or 5 of them get together and they like complain at each other. It is the most intellectually defunct, brain dead fucking nightmare zone imaginable. It is crazy. Why am I putting earbuds in? I don't need them. My voice sounds crazy right now? How so? Wait, is my mic working? Are we good? Jeez, don't make me all nervous like that, guys. Okay, cool. Deeper than normal? Maybe. I mean, that's because I'm thinking about my voice right now. It is so warm in here. Holy shit. Is there like a temperature app on your phone? Is that possible? Does anyone know? Can an iPhone 11 check the temperature? I'm really curious what the temperature is in this room. It doesn't have a thermometer or anything like that? Okay, gotcha. Can I imitate Liam Neeson? No, I really can't. Now the Sargon fans are also pushing him to debate. He's not going to do it. So I'm going to focus on the last thing that I wanted to talk about today. This is very important to me, okay? I'm sure most of you guys have probably seen by now the video that I did on Joshua Collins and some of the disappointment that I felt when it seemed as though he didn't know what the fuck he was doing when it came to electoral efficacy. And it made me think, like, I still haven't actually done any videos on how I want to establish socialism in the United States. And a lot of people have criticized me for that. And I keep saying, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. Like, what would you do? Like, what's your actual game plan, you know? A lot of people, Destiny criticized me for this too. Destiny criticized me. Like, you want to talk about, like, this society, you want to talk about what's here, but you can't talk about how to get to that point, okay? So I want to talk about that, all right? I'm going to try and keep this as expedient as possible, all right? And we're going to do it using paint. But before we get to the paint, I need to talk about something very important to you. Okay? Why do I want to be a socialist? Okay? So on a very, very fundamental level, I get called a lot of things. Socialist, market socialist, libertarian, socialist, leftist, anarchist, anarcho-syndicalist, mutualist. There are a lot of things that I get called. Broadly speaking, here are my opinions, okay? The progress of history is slow, you know? Imagine we live in like a slave state, like Egypt, you know, back in 2000 BC or something like that. If I lived in such a society, do you think if I was intelligent enough to know what socialism was, I could meaningfully advocate for its implementation right then and there? Probably not. Because if we agree, generally speaking, with historical materialism, the idea is that the material relationships of society advance to a point where we can then make meaningful progress. Marx agreed that socialism was a necessary step in moving society forward. And I agree with him on that, because I think that socialism did a pretty excellent job of codifying the development of a modern industrial economy, which socialism can then take advantage of. Now, even if you don't agree generally with those ideas, even if that is the case, the fact remains nonetheless that, like, you can't just... Wait, what did I say? Whatever I said, I mean capitalism, my bad. I said socialism when I meant liberalism. Capitalism, my apologies. Socialism will overtake socialism. Well, that might happen too. Yeah. Non-stop warfare, comrades. Marx believed that capitalism had a purpose to serve, and I think I generally agree with that. I would also agree that feudalism was a necessary step in removing power away from like the divine right of absolute monarchs, and the divine right of absolute monarchs were probably a superior system to like theological confederacies or like the Roman Empire maybe. Like there's a progression over time with history, and it's all very complicated, and I'm not a fucking historian, so I'm not going to focus on that. I want to focus on today. Right now, today, we live in a capitalist society, a laissez-faire capitalist society, which means that, generally speaking, our economic system is oriented around the idea that any individual can acquire capital privately, so money that they can use to turn into more money, to turn into more, capital, and that this can be done. Anyone can do this. That's unique. It didn't used to be that case, Back in the feudal days, not anyone could just become a successful businessman. And even if you did become successful, you were usually made subservient. Libraven, it's called laissez-faire capitalism as opposed to mercantile capitalism. It doesn't mean that it's literally laissez-faire with no restrictions whatsoever in the market. It's a juxtaposition to the former system of capitalism. Mercantile capitalism meant that there was more of a union, like an orientation between the relationship between merchants and the state, or I guess back then it would be like the monarchy. And I don't like this system very much. I think it's kind of cringe, basically. The main problem that I have with capitalism is that it's not democratic and that it creates inequality. Those are my main issues. Now, when I say it's not democratic, what I mean by that are two fundamental things. One, the existence of people with more capital than others means that our political electoral democratic system is going to be made subservient to the interests of some people more so than the interests of other people. I.e., if you're super wealthy and you can create super PACs and you can create like lobbying groups and you can represent your interests in Washington, you're probably going to have more of an influence in the political sphere than an average Joe working at a fucking, Starbucks in Chicago. Probably, generally speaking. And the second reason I say it's undemocratic is because workplaces are authoritarian. They are. Like, really think about it. We live in a democratic society. Democracy works great for our electoral system. I mean, it's preferable to the alternative, at least. But with workplaces, they're pretty authoritarian. I mean, they literally are. You can be fired for any reason. You don't get a say in the rules of that workplace. You don't really get a say in how your labor is expressed and oriented. These are all like really, really, really severe problems to me. I think they hurt people. I think it fucking sucks that most people will spend their entire lives utterly dependent on an authoritarian system to survive. I think it sucks that the average person will never have as much influence into the broader political system as small groups of, corporate hegemonies. And business people and investors and capital owners and stuff. That bothers me. Now, my preferred system is not one which is oriented around hatred for any group. Not landlords, not cops, not rich people. All of these groups of people have the capacity individually to be good, hardworking, upstanding, moral people. But it remains a fact nonetheless that these people are complicit in maintaining the existence of this system. I would go as far as to say, I would run this back. I don't think that every slave owner back in the 19th century would have individually been a bad person. I think that people's moral systems are largely molded by the world that they were born into. I think that the goal should always be to challenge the system and not to challenge the individual. To challenge the individual is exclusionary. To challenge the individual is reductive. But to challenge the system, which we should be doing as intersectional leftists, this is what does genuine work. So then we ask, how do we make society better? Well, this is my goal. The first thing, and there is a three-way movement that we have to shore up on all fronts. The first two are, at least for now, more important than the last one. The first one is the culture war, baby. This is what I do. At the end of the day, political power is built by numbers. That's it. Support and public popularity are the bedrock of all populist movements, and we are a populist movement. Unless you want to do some weird, like, secretly become head of the CIA and launch a military coup for leftism kind of thing, which historically tends not to be how leftism is implemented in the real world. Our goals are to push people towards values that will make them more receptive to our political goals. So, here are some examples of things that we do to win the culture war. I'm about to list a lot of stuff, or at least I could. Changing people's minds individually in person, debating people on Discord to try and get your views out there, making YouTube channels to disseminate information to people who want to find better criticisms of conservative values, debating conservatives, pushing values like, say, for example, solidarity, camaraderie, trans rights, anti-white supremacy, anti-racism, anti-colonialism, and all other forms of progressive values generally into the broader public, petitioning these values to politicians, trying to get these values normalized in public discourse and in media, producing media that normalizes these values. Hey, has anyone seen the season finale of She-Ra? Normalizing these values by pushing them in every media space imaginable, up to and including TV, movies, and what have you. Doing everything that you can to make sure that people are aware of the fact that there are alternatives to the pre-existing systemic hegemony. In person, we have direct action. We have working and volunteering. We have people who can engage in real life to convince people that the systems that they work within are not effective. You can create nonprofits. You can work at nonprofits. Everything that you can do to convince people that our values are good and their values are not is building this. And you know this for a fact. We just talked to Chris Ray Gun. When Chris Ray Gun did his little videos, guys, I don't care what Sargon is saying or doing unless he's up to debate, okay? I genuinely don't care. He's a coward and he'll shit talk from behind a wall all he wants. I genuinely do not care. We talked about the Chris Ray Gun videos when we talked with Chris Ray Gun. How many people do you think Chris Ray Gun red-pilled on anti-SJWism with his silly little music videos? How many people do you think he got over? 100,000? 200,000? A million people, possibly? Probably a lot of fucking people. Probably a fuck ton of people. Too many people, perhaps? Now, with that being the case, we have to recognize that a lot of the people who enjoyed the stuff that Chris Ray Gun produced, or that Sargon of Akkad produces, funnily enough, or any of these more reactionary content creators produce, pushes people towards political systems and political beliefs that normalizes the implementation of their actual policy positions. That's the main issue. The main issue isn't that if we have, like, anti-SJWs on YouTube, they'll be mean to people. The main issue is that anti-SJWs will usually have their views normalized through the political space. Like, say, for example, voting for Trump, or say, for example, opposing the C-16 bill in Canada, or say, for example, voting in local conservative representatives for Congress and for Senate and for the gubernatorial seat and all that stuff. That's the main issue. Usually when I focus on these, like, cultural, like, oh, let's discuss this stuff, it's not just for harm reduction in the sense that I want to make YouTube less shitty. I mean, that's nice, you know. The main issue is that people who are made less shitty also vote differently than people who are more shitty. And that's the real problem. The right has done an extraordinarily good job advancing cultural conditions to bring people over into voting for conservative policies. It's very easy to do this for the right. Think about George Bush. Think about George Bush's approval rating immediately after 9/11. Stuff like being attacked, stuff like an immigrant wave, stuff like a war being started, stuff like posturing. All of these things can get conservatives huge amounts of public support that will then lead into them being voted into power and then voted into power again afterwards. And that's a problem. So when we work towards normalizing political positions that are amicable to us, we're doing so in the eventual hope that we're able to get these positions pushed forward in actual spaces of power where it really matters. So let's talk about that. Here is what I would like to see. Leftism is not going to win the presidency. If Bernie Sanders had become president, even if he had become president, and it's not happening now, guys, I'm really sorry, but even if he had become president, he would not have been able to do that much on his own. The main reason for that is because he would have been limited to executive actions for imposing his will on the country. Now, you can do a lot with an executive action. Apparently these days, you can more or less declare war with it, since nobody respects the fact that Congress needs to approve a war anymore. That just seems to be something we've skipped by. But because the House and because the Senate were not amicable to his political positions, there was just no way he could have meaningfully changed things to the extent we would have liked. And frankly, I don't really want to implement leftist policies in this country through fucking executive action. Is that really the way we want to do it? Now, I'm not saying I didn't want Bernie to win. Of course I did, but we have to recognize the dude would have been working with a handicap. But doing this through executive action, just the president unilaterally doing this stuff, it's a bad precedent. And the next president can just undo it. Anything you do via executive action can just be undone via executive action. Whereas if you have it pushed through House and Congress and so on and so forth, it is much, much harder to undo that stuff. Much harder. That's why the Republicans weren't able to repeal the entirety of Obamacare, because that was actually pushed through. It wasn't done via executive order. They were only able to get rid of the individual mandate. Courts can undo it also. Yeah, like executive action is just not that useful. Long term. Not a great way of establishing long-term political changes. So here's what we need to focus on, guys, and I believe in this very, very firmly. We need to go local. Remember that, okay? All the power, all the obfuscation Republicans are able to engage in Congress and in the Senate comes from the fact that they have local representatives who are there, who are able to contribute to the, frankly, current immovability of the senatorial process. We need to get involved in the local electoral processes. And lately, this has been happening a lot more with the Rose Caucus, sometimes for better and sometimes for worse. If we can get more of our values pushed through these avenues, we have the ability to meaningfully affect change. Look at what has been done by AOC. Now, AOC has been doing an incredible job, in my humble opinion, not perfect, but very, very good. AOC has been doing a great job threading the line, simultaneously being very progressive, at least compared to the majority of the people in the House and the Senate, and also working within the purview of electoral politics. Because keep in mind, if AOC just went out there on the floor and said, abolish the CIA, trans rights are human rights, seize the means of production, Medicare for all, I don't know if she would be able to affect quite as much. But AOC right now is one of the most popular politicians in the country, and her influence, alongside the other Justice Dems, is so substantial that they're getting the opportunity to build panels within the DNC to actually challenge people like Pelosi and some of the more establishment Democrats. That's incredible. That's insane. Pelosi has been in the seat of power for, I think, since the 1800s, maybe the 1700s. I think Pelosi might actually predate the American Confederacy. And Pelosi has actually ceded recognition and ceded power in a way to the squad. And they've done that because, and this is the important part, AOC recognizes the importance of public support. Everything that AOC does, everything she says, is part of a broader effort to normalize progressive and sometimes even socialist rhetoric. That's powerful stuff. Here's what I would like to see. This would be my ideal, okay? And I'm gonna hit it from the ground. a nationwide effort to start supporting, funding, and popularizing more progressive or left-wing Democratic political candidates is established. These political candidates work locally to engage in the reenfranchisement of minorities in swing districts, which increases the likelihood of further Democratic constituencies to be filled. In addition, they work as a coalition within Congress and within the Senate to begin advocating for a very specific departure from traditional DNC policies, which would, we can talk about Green New Deal, we can talk about Medicare for All, we can talk, just broadly speaking, more progressive electoral legislation. We move in that direction. We strengthen this sect within the DNC, and we try to be to the DNC what the more libertarian-leaning Tea Party ended up being to the RNC, substantially moving the party over. Eventually, I believe more people are going, or at least a substantial number of people, are going to weigh in on the side of the Justice Dems, or whatever the future name for this group of people is going to be, than they would the traditional establishment Dems. The establishment Dems don't really seem to have an interest in swing states or southern states. Imagine how much sway we would be able to get if we could have some more populist appealing progressives winning in swing states that the Democrats had previously ceded. If we work on giving these people like the resources necessary to set up polling booths, or hey, to change the laws regarding felons being able to vote or not. Did you know that 1.5 million people in Florida, if my numbers are correct, I'm pretty sure that is the case, that 1.5 million people in the state of Florida are voting restricted due to some manner of brush with the criminal justice system? Sargon wants to chat? Okay, then I'll talk to him after this. That's an insane number of people. 1.5 million people. That's fucking crazy. And if we're able to move more of these people towards, not only towards our positions, but at the very least being able to vote, we can slowly but surely start to push out the Republicans in the, yes, I did, the real red shirt guy. It reminded me of a very important thing. There are, where we can start to push out not only establishment Democrat values, but also Republicans in the Senate and in the Congress. Ideally, what would happen after we have a very large and powerful populist group within the DNC is we can start moving people towards cultural positions that are going to make them amicable towards socialist ideas. The right does this all the time. The right will set up a the right will remember when Trump threatened to send the military to the southern border to deal with the imposing threat of the migrants, and then it turns out the migrants weren't even there and nobody actually cared and it wasn't actually a big deal and it didn't mean anything? There are a ton of ways in which conservatives posture to bring people towards emotional states which are amicable towards their political positions. If you get people scared about Muslims, if you get people scared about Mexicans, if you get people scared about immigrants, you can get people to move to the right. And we need to do something like that too. We need to start actively working towards, hey, this might be old hat. I think this can still be done at a federal level. We can work towards the prosecution of some of the executives on Wall Street who were responsible for the 2007 financial crisis. How popular do you think that would make it? Hey, like AOC, imagine like AOC, like up there, like, hey, Obama wouldn't do it, Bush wouldn't do it, Trump wouldn't do it, we're bringing these people to justice. The legality of this, I'm not entirely sure if that would be possible at this point, but something like that. Maybe make more of a public show of condemning some of these big CEOs who are engaging in obvious fucking crimes against the American people. If you do that, you kind of build public support for people starting to distrust these groups. Maybe introduce a couple of legislative actions within maybe given certain districts or even certain states that de-emphasize the relative power of landlords. Hey, what if we start implementing what is it called, right of first purchase, so that after businesses go under, before they're sold off to the banks, the workers have the opportunity to collectively purchase that business. We start implementing these policies incrementally up to a point where the general population is getting more and more sold on harder ideas, not just Medicare for all, but stuff like full decommodification of certain industries. If we can move people in that direction, there's a very real chance that we can do this over electorally. Now, mind you, and I'm being very, very, very simplistic here, mind you, with all of that being said, this is only reformist work. We can engage in this reformist work all day long, and we can go a long way with it. And I'm of the opinion, by the way, generally speaking, that when you show people positive examples of left-leaning values working, that's going to move them further to the left. But I am not of the opinion, at this particular moment, at the very least, that the full seizure of the means of production is something that we are going to be able to do merely through reformism and electoralism, by which the goal would be, if at all possible, to have as much support within the government as possible before any such thing happens. Now, I'm not advocating we start a revolution. I have always made the argument that the material conditions of our world, especially in a climate crisis world, will eventually lead towards some sort of extremely radical, violent action within this country's borders. And if that happens, it would be much easier for us to win if we are popular within the government, because that will mean not only do we have seats of power within the existing government, it will also mean that a greater portion of the population will like us. That's what matters most at the end of the day. We work on the ground to make people like our ideas, and we put people in office who will disseminate policies that make them like our ideas. We make the world better now, but if one day this system really collapses, we will be in a position to win, because I would much rather a violent revolution be socialist than one be fascist. That's what I would like to see for America. Now, of course, the specifics broadly vary, of course, and I would need to go over it, on a state-by-state, county-by-county level if I wanted to be truly comprehensive, which I'm not going to because that sounds incredibly time-consuming. But that's the general goal. That's why I care about socialism, that's why I care about market socialism, and that's why I want to achieve it in the way that I do. And I do think that voting for Biden is incrementally better in this respect for this plan of building socialism than having Trump in. If for no other reason than because if Trump is in for another 4 years, in 2024, all the Democrats are going to care about is getting anyone who's blue in office. They're not going to give a shit about gatekeeping or holding people to certain values. That's why Biden did better than Bernie, by the way. A lot of people agreed with Bernie's ideas, but they voted for Biden anyway because they cared more about maximizing the chance of throwing Trump out than they did in actually making their world better. And that's what people are going to do. People will never jump hard left, Democrats at least, because they're all spineless, because Trump was bad or whatever. They'll just crawl to the easiest democratic position they can find. So yeah. And that would bring about, ideally, market socialism, and then afterwards we can work towards decommodification and so on, blah, blah, blah. But, hey, listen. One step at a time, baby. All right. They want to talk? My stream's ending in 45 minutes and I still have donations to do, so if we're doing this, we're fucking doing this. They respond to the tweet? How am I supposed to... They have to give me a Zoom link. Do they know that? The Zoom link has to appear before me for me to be able to... The person who commented earlier said Sargon would talk after the video. Wait, how long is their video going on? Wait, okay, hold on. I have fun and all. I don't want to stay an extra fucking hour I'm hungry, okay? I don't want to spend an extra hour streaming so I can banter with a bunch of fucking 40 IQ dipshits. What's the, hold on. Let me find the stream. If they're nearly done with the video, it's probably fine. Yeah, I need nappy time. Listen, I'm a sleepy boy.
Asked for a specific point or timestamp, having already seen it, but he refused. Right, so he had no reason.
How far
Jeff,
along? Let's see.
I am actually not a white supremacist. I feel silly having to say that, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's even weirder that, we hung out and it's we were hanging out with a plurality of races. Race never came up in any of the
Remember when you got kicked off of Patreon for insulting white nationalists?
Yeah.
That's how you know I'm one of them.
I know.
That's what a white nationalist would say, isn't it?
Yep.
Thanks, ContraPoint, for that pearl of wisdom. Thoughts on Britain first? Paul Golding's...
How far into the... click on the video so I can see the fucking buffering bar.
To be honest with you, Paul Golding in Britain First probably is what they think of as a fascist. He probably is. That's what they're talking about. But he also probably is being persecuted by the British state. So I don't know. I don't want to come down on one side or another.
Make it
I don't know who's right
appear.
or wrong in that case. Sargon, debate Vorsh, you beta. I have twice. Christ, like, I've got other things I want to do with my life.
I know.
The video was huge. I don't understand how they missed it.
I know. Did you see Vorsh? Yeah, but there are people like debate Richard Spencer.
Yeah.
Did you see Vorsh leaked chats about horses? It's Bushi time. Are we saying that Vorsh is some sort of My Little Pony fetishist? Because I could believe it. I mean, he's got the look, hasn't he?
Oh, no.
Whoa!
I mean, I haven't seen them, but I would not be surprised.
Does he do the pony? Does the ponytail have the little bun too? I don't know.
This all falling. It's all coming together, isn't it? But thank you, Robin Hood. Canadian Conservative. Vegan gains has nothing to do with me in Toronto.
Okay.
Who's the best pony, Vosh? I don't know. I've never seen My Little Pony.
You coward. I like you. You guys can keep giving me money to ask me to do something I've already done.
There you go.
Totally up with this. And the thing is, I'm more than happy to talk to Vorsh at some point in the future. You know, I think Vorsh is funny. I think that debating with Vorsh and Destiny is
Crying Wojak meme incoming.
fun. I think it's interesting. It's stimulating. You know, I never know what they're going to come out with. Like the first debate I had with Destiny, I never realized he would be in favor of exploiting people in foreign countries. Like just because they're in foreign countries, you didn't realize that gold, that nugget of gold that you had to mine down to would be there, but there it was. So I'm all for it.
Bosch doesn't understand what the appeal to authority fallacy is. We got him for like 10 minutes in the first debate trying to explain to him.
Oh my God, they actually still believe they caught me on an appeal to authority fallacy. When I said, well, I would characterize UKIP as far right because it was described so by the person who created it, and they thought that was an appeal to authority fallacy.
What the appeal to authority fallacy is. So yeah, you get those gems out of there.
You do.
Is that the ultimate form of simping? Is having Vosh's simps pay you money to try to debate him, even though you've already debated him twice?
Yes.
This is literally like the Vosh support group. Is this what Destiny feels like all the time? Like every time Destiny blows people the fuck out in a debate, they have to like get together with their friends and all circle jerk about how actually Destiny is like this is like the triage, you know? They're all like licking their wounds, except it's months later.
I think it might be like truths woven in to it. This is very
all good comedy. All good comedy has truth woven in.
Okay, wait. So he doesn't even want to debate, does he?
Syriza? I think it's called Syriza. But like Varoufakis is a communist, and he was the finance minister. Like there was a coalition of leftists, in fact. During the lockdown, May the 1st, they organised a march without masks, measuring proper physical distance, standing on pre-measured spots, etc. It was illegal but not enforced. Thoughts? I mean, I don't actually...
He's going to be doing this for like 8 hours, dude. He said he'd debate me sometime in the future. Yeah, I don't think he's debating right now. Whatever, I got to finish that segment that I wanted to do. Oh, gotcha, you know. Yeah, don't donate to Sargon. He doesn't give a fuck. He likes it. He likes because every time he gets a dono saying like debate Vosh, he gets to be like, I'd love to debate Vosh, but he's so amusing. But I've got other things to do. It's like he's got like the standard. What is it? Just crying, Wojak? It's not just crying. It's when it's the mask. This accurately describes a lot of reactionaries, but I think this describes Sargon better than possibly any other collection of pixels on the internet. It's flawless. Wojaks truly are like music of the soul. Like Wojaks are like, God, dude. What do they say? We know that feel? They truly do know that feel. It's true. It's incredible. It's amazing. Thank you, Rexio. Wojaks are just rage comic faces. I think that Wojaks speak to a deeper truth than rage comics, in my humble opinion, but that's just me. That's my personal opinion. Okay, we're going to have to go over these donations quick. I am exhausted, and I am tired, and I am sleepy, and I am exhausted. Opinion on the big three of seinen manga: Berserk, Vagabond, and Vinland Saga. Berserk is legit 10 out of 10. Vinland Saga is 9 out of 10. Then I haven't actually read Vagabond. The greedy mark. Excuse me. Michigo with a very generous $10. Really happy to hear you enjoying the channel, comrade, over the past few weeks, and I will keep growing. It's a promise to you, comrade. And AC with the $10. I was a self-hating gay and drifted too much into the alt-right YouTube scene, but your videos opened my eyes and made me feel valid again. Just took 6 months. Better here now than to have never been here. Am I right, comrade? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'm happy to have you here in the community. It's really awesome. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Whew. Markinator, because they're unoriginal with the soy shit. H-Bomber guy already ended that. Hellgarden, I'm debating. Thanks for the 666. Would I debate with Sargon? Yeah, of course. I've debated with Sargon twice. For one, I do profit off debating them, but moreover, I just like making them miserable. That's my main thing. At this point, I get, how can I be socialist in the Baltic countries? By living a good life and convincing the people around you. At this point, I make enough money that I don't need to like set up debates every day, or I'm gonna like not be able to pay my rent. But I do like making them miserable. That does make me very happy. Knowing that people like Styx Hexenhammer and Sargon are like waking up every morning, they see Vosh and they get like on Twitter they see like me because someone retweeted me and they get like a flash through their body, like the sweats start to break out. You know, they're like they're unironically triggered when they see me. Yeah, post-Vosh stress disorder. True, that makes me happy. I just like it. Razorfist said on Twitter, conservatism isn't the old punk rock, isn't the new punk rock, it's the old one. Can you believe that shit? Oh yeah, from avowed libertarian and Trump supporter Razorfist. Very big brain. True, Dominic Craig. Vosh Army Faction, I want to shout out the Seriously Wrong podcast. Their theory episode is a hilarious anecdote about a trot cult that berated a 15-year-old comrade. It's good shit. The Seriously Wrong podcast? Sure. I haven't heard of it, but hell yeah, comrade. Podcasts are pretty goddamn fun. Agreed, Dominic Craig. And agreed, Nuberific. Thank you both very, very, very much. My Richard is itchy with the tier 1 sub. Thanks for helping me be less of a piece of a shit. I used to watch Steven Crowder and Black Pigeon Speaks. Now I'm not a fucking idiot anymore. Pepe laugh. We've moved you over, comrade. You're like shoe on head. I have seduced you with my wily communist rhetoric. Florosaurus, I might do a Total War Warhammer stream when Warhammer Total War 3 comes out, but I'd need to get a new computer first to be able to stream it. And Humphead Sassy with the $20. Hey, Vosh, have you heard the drama with the Twitch Council and Ferociously Steph? And if so, do you plan on responding to the situation? Lots of reactionary takes. Yeah, I talked about it last stream. The Deer Girl, whew, that was pretty nasty. But yeah, I talked about it. It was pretty rough. I hurt a little. Fair Loves Yoldashev, I might do an art stream one day. I did one a really long time ago, back when I had like a crap mic and everything. Or not crap mic, crap camera. My mic's always been fine. New computer already, what are your specs? I need a second computer to be able to stream from. So I can stream from one computer and play games with the other one. Ryan W99, I'm sorry, comrade. I can't have a JoJo argument with you until I've finished part 7. Punk is now establishment? Uh-oh. Wait, this will get me copyright striked. Wow. I hated that. Punk is dead. Carl is a simpsicle lib. He's one of the reasons I don't identify as a classical lib, since he's too spineless to call out cons, calling everything to the left of them lib. Well, yeah, Carl's a fascist. He called himself a classical liberal because he thought he was pro-freedom in relationship to like the pro-censorship SJWs. But in reality, he's always been like a deeply authoritarian person. Like very, very, very deeply. What about, thank you for the 200 check marks, I think. What about to debate this PPP guy who wants to fight Ethan Ralph? I have no idea who that person is, but I'll debate anyone, I guess. I mean, I'm here for it. Yeah, Bing, metapolitics is pretty goddamn important. Sake Tanuki with the $20. How does the definite deadline of climate apocalypse factor into the efficaciousness of incremental leftist movement? Because we can't do anything radical right now. We can't. Guys, if we tried to have a fucking revolution in time to fix climate change, all we would do is kill ourselves. Like, it won't work. That's the issue. It's not like working within incrementalism to try and move more people to the left is moving as fast as possible. We can't move any faster than that. We can't do anything better than that. We can't. It's not like if we wanted to, we could speed up the process by winning a revolution or something. Like, you know, we'd get fucking rocked. Terminage 2 with the $15. Thank you, comrade. I really appreciate it. And the Begata Marquise, I do not know about Fritz Lang, but he sounds like a quirky character. Shlover, thanks to Tier 1 sub. Happy to hear you enjoy the content, and very happy to hear you enjoy the second Sargon debate. I think it did pretty well there. If they want to give free helicopter rides to communists, can we give a call for free Predator drone strikes to traditionalists? No, because I am very, very anti-political violence, okay? Very anti-political violence, comrade. We just do soft, harmless bonks over here. Thank you, Anthony. I will have a good nappy and snacky. Danky Kang and his friends called you infantile and told you to read theory. They also advised you to have Luna Oi on your stream, will you? I can have Luna Oi on my stream, sure, but Danky Kang is literally insane. That's the thing. A lot of these, like, tanky types are actually fucking delusional. Like, they're insane. Every time I talk to a tanky, the same thing happens. They come on here and it starts out reasonable, and then they say increasingly stupid things and end up making themselves look embarrassing, but then afterwards they run back to their tanky community to all, like, screech about how I lost the debate because at 1 hour 37 minutes in, I didn't know a specific definition of an academic term that's only used in a text written in 1907. It's the same thing every single fucking time. It's super boring. Like, I can do it, but also I've had Danky Kang on stream. He looked like a fool. Like, I've done it before. Like, I've already debated these people. Nobody here will be able to explain that to you, Infernal Wombat. Hey Vosh, a friend of mine wants to debate you. He's a big JBP fan with like 50k subs. Tell him to email me. Spaniard here. Vosh, you can't be more true. The mayor in my town is hardcore pro-Cuba and anti-establishment. Been here for 20 years. Got elected because he opened some parks and kept the streets clean. Yeah. Seriously, if people like you, they're more willing to trust you moving them over. Keep in mind, Bernie Sanders started out as a mayor, right? Like, you got to work your way up, you know? So many lefties, like, they care so much about the presidential election, then they fucking dip out the moment it comes time to do actual local work, you know? Jackson Gary, thank you for the $5. Really happy to hear you enjoy the channel, comrade. And Real Redtism, thank you for the $10. I don't know if you'd be able to move me over on the idea that cisgender has in any way, shape, or form a negative connotation inherently, but maybe. Possibly. Zero Vector with the incredibly kind $25. Soygon is a cuck and Nazi punk should fuck off, beat the shit out of them in the pit. In a video game, baby. We do not endorse political violence here. You know how it be. You know how it be, baby. Thank you. I really appreciate that, comrade. Only recently discovered your channel through the No BS Arthur stuff. Been loving the content overall. Fuck yeah. I'm really happy to hear that, Rika7. And DeGero with the incredibly kind $30. Sargon right now. What a pathetic loser, Lamau. Still one of the best tweets on the website. We'll get him one. Apparently, he'll debate me again one day, so we'll get there. In the meantime, we just got to get big enough that people like him are running to me to debate. Thank you very much, comrade, for the $30. And with that, oh, Mumpiri with a very generous $10. Vosh, comrade, my brother just showed me a video that's so good it's only criminal he's got less than 1,000 views in it. Please, please, please watch it. Email it to me, voshvideo@gmail.com, because I don't see it here. And Goose Juice with the $10. I love you, Vosh, sexually. I'm okay with that as long as you are overage. That is fine with me. But if you are underage, I'm not okay with that. Oh yeah, I've been featured. I'd like to discuss that with you. Let's set up a debate. I take issue with that. Would you like to debate me? You will debate me now. You know they're subtweeting me if they say, if the person says, What's your contention? Because I say that shit like at the beginning of everyone. Sake Tanuki, I'm sorry, I didn't. Sake, I love you for the $10, my brother, and also for all the incredible generosity. You should email me the dono and your name so that I can refund you. I love you, comrade, because I'm peacing out. I'm tired. Goodbye. I love you, comrade. I hope you all know that. You all mean so goddamn much to me. When's the next video game stream? I have no idea. I'm not streaming tomorrow. So Sunday is my day off. And yeah, love you all very much. Have fun. Great stream today. I am tired and sweaty. Have a good one. You're beautiful. I love you. You're beautiful. I love you.